What's up, y'all? Y'all know what it is.
What's up? What's
Commander
good?
Kings back in full effect
Mm-hmm.
as we are less than a month away from the draft, and we're really about to start hammering the draft here heavy on the Commanders Kings show. We were just talking backstage. First of all, how's everybody doing, man?
Lovely right now, man. It's interesting. My kids are on spring break. It looks like spring outside, and it still feels like winter. It's very interesting what's happening in the DMV. But I'm good right now. How about y'all?
Man, I'm good, man. You know how those Terps doing. You know, we holding it down. You
I
see
was just about to ask you about some March
Ed's
Madness.
still screaming.
I couldn't hold it. I was ugly screaming too. I couldn't hold it in. But nah, yeah, I'm good, man. I mean, the biggest news we got right now is Jaden and Juju, and that's kind of died down with the ACL tear, but hopefully she recovers. But yeah, that's really the biggest thing right now. We got a couple 30 visits, but I know we'll probably talk about that later. But I'm good over here.
Which one was more exciting, the Maryland Derek Queen last second shot, or the field goal made by Zane Gonzalez to send the Commanders to the divisional round of the postseason? Which one hit you harder? Because you was going nuts. You was going nuts. Ed
was wilding out.
Ed was wilding. So which one? Which one, Ed?
Hey man, you know what? It's so crazy. I'm actually gonna go with the Maryland one. I'm gonna go with the Maryland one.
It seemed like it.
It seemed like it. Yeah.
I would say the Maryland one, man. It's crazy, but I of course I love the Commanders one, man. I love that one, but that buzzer beater, because they were cheating us the whole game, so that's why it was just crazy like that.
Yeah, that was a poorly officiated game, I will say.
Horribly.
What about you, Rico? How's everything going?
It's getting hot down here, which I'm not a fan of. But other than that, man, I'm super excited. We're about a month away. Trying to not get too detached to too many players that we, because we're in that watching film stage. So try not to get too attached to every single person that we watching. Like you start to envision everybody on the team when you're watching them and things like that. But I'm excited, man. It's a lot going on. Free agency wise, we're probably going to slow down a little bit, but I'm just excited. I mean, I can't believe how pessimistic some people are about this franchise, what we just accomplished, man. I'm super excited about what we're about to do.
Yeah. I mean, that's not the craziest part of the offseason for me. It's seeing how obsessed Eagles fans have been with us. That's the part that has thrown me for an absolute
Bears too.
They wake up and think about us before they brush their teeth. I'm talking. There's a tweet on the timeline before you get your shit on for the day.
Yeah. Oh, it's wild, bro. I've never seen anything quite like it before. You would have thought that we beat them in the championship game or something. Like they didn't just win the Super Bowl, but we were just talking backstage about how quickly this draft has gotten. We less than a month away.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, you get to next Tuesday and it's April. And it feels like this is not a normal, draft period for us because we went so late into the season, and I can't speak for anybody. I wasn't really focused on the draft until our season was complete and done. And then even then, it still took me like maybe a week or two to put the bow on this season. You still had the Super Bowl.
You had to live with it some more.
Yeah, it had to stew. It had to sit there and stew a little bit. And so I really didn't start even looking at the draft. Like, forget about studying prospects. I didn't even start looking at the draft until like late February. And now it's almost April. How are you guys dealing with the process? Because a number of y'all said that like these mocks not even hitting like they normally hit.
They don't move me. They don't move me, man. Like you said, we're not accustomed to this lifestyle of playing football into late January. We almost played football in February. None of us in this panel right now, none of us are used to that life. None of us are used to that. We're watching NBA where we're deep in the draft. Like we were like months into the draft in years previous to this season. So by the time that we actually started diving into prospects and you realize we're picking 29th, we're not at 17, 15, 13, 5, or 2 like last year.
Right.
You can't even really fall in love with prospects because you don't even know what we're going to do. And after all the aggressive trading the team has done, we have 5 picks in the draft. There's a good chance that we stay up for about 4 hours Eastern Standard Time on night 1 of the draft, and we don't even make a pick. So it's like, I like the range of players I see drafted to us. I don't feel too strongly for or against them, but the mocks just not hitting like they used to. And that is a good thing. That is a good thing,
It
everybody.
It
We've
is.
come a long way.
It is.
We've come a long ass way. Woo, feels good.
Yeah, and Lou, I'm with you. Even like throughout the regular season, going through the playoffs and stuff like that. Y'all know I'm normally super draft guy, but I was just enjoying this season too much because it's easily the best season I've ever seen being a Burgundy and Gold fan since I've been alive by far. So I was in the moment too. I wasn't really watching a lot of tape on a lot of other guys. Really, anybody you could have asked me about while we were still in the playoffs as far as draft prospects go, I could have told you more so about them like high school coming out of like recruiting. Maybe I've seen a couple of highlights from them while watching games live, but I hadn't like really gotten into like my real film studies until like a week or two later. And even then I was having to spend time watching film on potential free agents we could sign. So now we're like in the full swing of like really sitting down and watching these draft guys. And and I'm right with Rio. Like, I mean, what player can you even get attached to? I mean, there are so many options at 29, but at the same time, we're so far away. Who knows who's even going to be there? And I love to, I can't help myself. I naturally get attached to certain guys. I envision them in our offense. I envision them in our defense doing this and things like that. Can't help it. But I'm working on it though. I'm going to therapy for it, I guess, because it's 20. That 29th pick is not healthy to keep doing that, man.
And we all got guys though. We all got guys that we wanted that spot, man.
So I think that's the perfect segue into what I wanted to discuss to kick off the show tonight. And that was with us being at 29. And as Rico said, it's hard not to get attached to prospect. I do it every year. It is. I don't care what I tell myself. I get attached to prospects. There's certain ones where you go, man, I'd love for him to at least be on the board when it's our turn. And if they decide not to take him, cool, right? But at least the option existed, right? Give me the guy at 29 for you right now that you say right now, realistically, like, of course, we would all love to have an opportunity to draft Abdul Carter and all the guys that'll be at the top of the draft. But I'm saying realistically, give me a guy that you would love to see on the board at 29 for the Commanders to take. Give me one guy.
I'll jump out there first, man. For me, it's Donovan Ezeraku out of Boston College. Like, it feels probably one of the biggest glaring needs on the roster, but he's one of those pass rushers that from day one has a pass rush bag. He can do everything in the book. He could beat you in more ways than one, and he's actually produced. You don't want people to peak in college, but at the same time, you don't want a player that has not done it before, like who doesn't have tape of doing it yet. A lot of these guys are projection players, and you're basing it off of what they can become in the league. If the starting package of what he already has is this fire, what could he be with some fine-tuning in the tutelage of Dan Quinn and company? We desperately need someone who can get to the quarterback. We have a bunch of bodies and size up front, beef, as we called it last week. We got a bunch of that to sell out versus the run. Somebody got to get to quarterbacks on the opposition. Somebody got to get to quarterbacks on the other team. And why not get a pass rush specialist? I think he can improve in the run game over time. He was not the greatest versus the run in college. I do not care. Every single person in the edge room can't be good against the run. Ezeraku would come in day one and be the best pass rusher on this team. I'm not sure if he gets there, but you can say that about the majority of the first round at this point. I would love to see Ezeraku fall to number 29.
And even before I go, I'm just curious if everybody's gonna pick edge rusher. But for my pick, and you know, I'm a little bit of a homer, but if Michael Williams
I knew where he was going. I
somehow
knew where he was going. I knew where he was going. I knew where he was going.
Hey, speak the gospel. Speak the gospel, Rico.
Man, hey, man, let me just let me get it all, because I'm seeing Pro Football Focus got him 24th. I'm seeing Pro Football Network 33rd. I'm seeing 247 Sports 47th. And I think a lot of that is because of the lack of production, even though I blame that on the injury that he had. And even like, where's that chart? There's that chart that's been going around. I know y'all been seeing it for like the past week of pass rush win rate. And it's like blue, light blue, green, yellow, and then it's like orange and red. You have that Oluwafemi Oladejo guy out of like 40 names dead last. Yep. But Michael Williams,
keep him away from me first and foremost.
Yeah,
we'll get to that later though.
Oh yeah, we gotta talk about that because that's been a hot topic. He's dead last out of the whole group. You have Michael Williams 4th from the bottom. Again, I blame that on the injury. I think Jalen Walker was the one that came out and said like he wouldn't tell anybody. We're not even sure if the Georgia coaching staff necessarily knew that this guy was like really, really hurt and literally had no business playing. So that's why his production suffered. I'm hoping that people ignore the injury and just see that production and just completely wipe him off their boards. Because I still feel like I felt 3 years ago, him and Walter Nolan are top 5 talents in a few years. And then leading up, even now, I still feel like they're top 5, top 10 talents out of this entire draft class. And I feel like, you know, and he's banged up right now somewhat. So maybe like, you know, some people may pass on him because maybe he's not ready to necessarily play week 1. Some people may be saying with the injury that he suffered. And then some people also feel like maybe he will never be what he once was supposed to be. But man, when we're talking about pure talent, when you're talking about building an edge rusher in the lab, Michael Williams gives you all of that. So I would absolutely love it if he slid to us. I gave you a lot of reasons as to why he may slide to us. I still don't think it's very likely. But again, I mean, there's how many teams need edge rusher? Like there's like 9-10 guys I would be happy with probably at 29 right now. Yeah. And it's just like how many teams need edge rusher in the first round for all of them to be gone. And I'm hoping Michael Williams is just one of those ones that fall. I love RIO'S guy as well too. And I feel like at least somebody should be there for us at edge, please.
Gotta be.
Right. Yeah, no, street scores, yeah, you're definitely biased there for sure. But no, I'm with Rio on this one too, man. I like Donovan E as well, man. He ran like the best shuttle cone, the 3-cone drill. He had the best shuttle out of all the edge rushers. 16.5 sacks too. So man, we need that pass rusher. Yeah, he's not the best against the run, but we need somebody to come in and get us. I think he's guaranteed to come in and get us 8 sacks off the rip. So I love his energy. His bend, I'm going to say juice again. Somebody's going to try to say pause or whatever. But I think he can come in. He can be that rotational pass rusher that we need. So I like Donovan E a lot. The only other guy I would say to not be redundant with Rio or say the same person as Rio is maybe James Pierce, or possibly take a chance on a guy that kind of has an iffy character, because the talent is there. I don't think we haven't taken a chance on a character issue guy in a long time, and I think we finally have like the front office and the culture to bring in a guy like that.
Ecosystem. Yeah,
we have the ecosystem finally to do that. I'd rather go with Donovan E, but I'm just saying if all those guys are gone, Donovan E, Mike Green, guys like that are gone, and James Pierce falls to 29, I think we have the ecosystem that to corral a guy in like that, where the talent is there. There's some character questions, but I think we can get them right.
I think that name can be called way earlier.
Let me ask you this, Ed. I ask all of y'all this. You really think they bringing anybody in here with character concerns right now?
I don't think they will.
It depends.
I don't think they will, but I'm just saying.
You got to keep up with the Eagles.
That we have the building to do it. This is
I agree with you wholeheartly.
Go ahead and let James Pierce fall to the Eagles if he on that board and we don't pick him. Go ahead.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now. That C on the chest means a lot to these dudes. I don't know if y'all peep game last year. I thought we have 9 picks last year. I think 6 of them had C's on their chest. Like when they talk about the commander's tag and what that entails, I don't know if they're ready to start taking guys who have character concerns.
I think you make an exception if the talent is that high, though.
We'll see.
Yeah,
I'm not against it. I'm not against it at all.
Yeah,
Y'all know where I stand.
I did like a deep, like hour-long dive too, because I did a mock draft like last week, and I was like, all right, so what are these character concerns? And I looked up every article possible, and it seemed like the recurring theme was like he kind of melded in, basically like on some Tennessee's not going anywhere this year. I'm gonna play half. I'm gonna half step it. Like I'm not gonna put my all into it. I'm gonna save myself basically for the NFL so that I don't go out there
on something bigger.
Yeah, I don't give 110% to end up with a torn ACL or something like that. That's what they're saying. They're saying like he was just lazy.
Mm-hmm.
He just clearly was like melded in, like mentally, like wasn't as involved in team meetings and the film study and stuff like that. So maybe he gets to the NFL and takes it far more seriously than he did before.
All right, let me ask y'all another question before I give y'all mine, because mine it's probably gonna seem far-fetched to y'all. If I asked you what's the one position that you've seen over the years that has high-level talent that's most likely to fall, what position would you say?
Wide receiver.
Yeah, I would probably say like a skill player, like wide receiver.
What about you, Ed?
Yeah, I'd probably say wide receiver too.
I've been doing this since 2012. That was the first year I started doing this. From what I've seen, no position drops more so than the cornerback position.
Okay.
Think about, I go back a little ways. Think about Marshawn Lattimore. I know that might be a little further back for some of y'all, but all draft process, this dude was heralded and touted as a top 5 pick. He falls to 11, right? Look at last year's draft. You want to bring it more current. The best corner in the draft, everybody, consensus, was Quinyon Mitchell. And the Eagles were sitting there saying, we got to trade up. They tried to trade up with Denver to 12.
Yeah.
And Denver was like, nah, we got to get our quarterback. Can't help you. They sat there, and he fell into their lap at, what was it, 20?
Yeah, something crazy like that. Oh, I think I know who Lou's about to say. I think I know who Lou's about to say for this one. He talking about that Michigan corner, ain't you?
Definitely that Donovan, man.
I see where Lou going.
So all of a sudden now there's questions about Will Johnson's top end speed. And look, there were guys that got on top of him last year. I'm not going front, right? There were guys that were able to get behind him and make some plays. But I look at Will Johnson like I looked at Derek Stingley Jr., right? Derek Stingley was on that 2019 Natty team, one of the best college football teams I've
ever.
And that was his freshman year. COVID hits in 2020. Jamar Chase is like, I'm good. I'm going to the league. He doesn't have that ability. He was a true freshman in 2019, so he had to come back for 2021. 2021, injury riddled, wasn't his best effort. People question that. People question could he stay healthy? But he didn't fall, but it was similar to Will Johnson. Now, the only question I have about Will Johnson is, can he run? He didn't run at the combine. I'm not sure if Michigan already had their pro day or not. I'm not sure if he's going to run. Like, guys have been doing, I don't know if y'all seen Cam Scatterbull and Tet. Neither one of them ran at their pro day. Arizona State and Arizona had a joint pro day from March 19th to the 21st. Neither one of them did anything at that pro day. So my thing is, what are you trying to hide, right?
Yep.
So I'm going to see what Will Johnson runs.
Tet ran at something though, right? Because didn't he run like? Didn't it vary? Didn't I see 40s range from like 4.4 something to like 4.57 or something? Tet ran at something, right?
I didn't see. Now he could add a personal pro day, or he could add something else. I just know he didn't do anything. Him or Cam Scatterbull didn't do anything.
Oh, I know why Scatterbull not running.
A lot of guys, when they don't do something at their pro day, either something's wrong or they want more time.
Ted ran a 4.48. That's what I see.
And then I seen a whole bunch of people, they were debating the hand times. Like, I got 4.56. I got 4.57. You know how pro day.
Why you do it at the
combine
pro day, right? That's That's if you're not fast, that's why you do it at the pro day. Because there's no concrete time. You get like I said, we talked about this last week. You get ranges, right? 4.56, 4.48. Well, guess what? If somebody say they clocked a 4.48, I'm running with that. Yeah, I ran a 4.48. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I don't know what Will Johnson is going to run, but I know this much. If teams start to get cold feet on him, sign me up for some Will Johnson, please. I'm dying for one of these corners to fall into our lap because Hairston can run. So more likely than not, somebody's going to take him. So maybe, just maybe, I've been hearing that Will Johnson's stock is going down. Cool. Let it keep going down. Corners, to me, they fall in the draft. People can always find a reason not to take a corner early.
Christian Gonzalez.
I mean,
he was supposed to be a top 7 pick.
Talk about it. He definitely shouldn't have been going after Emmanuel Forbes.
Hell no.
Right? Talk about it. So all I'm saying is, if somehow Will Johnson could get to us, I'm sprinting to the phone.
Oh, easy.
To turn that thing in, right? So that's
no
the guy.
take backsies.
Yeah, right. Without question.
Y'all
sure? So conversely, who would be the guy at 29 where you say, hey, I want no parts of this dude? Now, keep in mind, and I can't speak for anybody else on the panel. I speak for myself. Whatever they decide to do, I'm going to rock with it. I may not love it, but I'm rocking with, because Adam Peters is giving me no reason not to trust him wholeheartedly. None. Right? So he's built up enough equity with me to where even if I absolutely hate what he has done, I envision him having a plan. Right?
Yep.
That said, we can all have a guy that we like, hey, I'm good on him.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pass on this guy.
Yeah. So you can either give me a guy at 29 or just a guy in general where you like, nah, I'm good, man. I don't want to see him donning the burgundy and gold at any pick in this draft. Do you got one?
What y'all got?
I'll give you a couple.
I would say I kind of I could see where he could be successful in the league, but I would say like Savion Williams, just the inconsistent hands and kind of redundant with what we got with Debo. He's more that running back, wide receiver, really wide, but they use him like as a running back, dual threat, gadget kind of guy. So I feel like we already got that in Debo. Yep. Inconsistent hands, and I mean his best year was 600 yards receiving, and he went to TCU. If you want to go to TCU route too, if you want to scout the jersey.
Yes,
I don't want to scout the jersey and helmet, but Josh Cox and
it's a TCU did as well, man.
So it's like I don't know many successful
TCU. Oh man!
So even in that 5th round range, 6th round, or he's going to go in the top 3 rounds most likely. But he just I could see him working out, but I could see him not working out too.
Brandon Coleman don't take away some of that. PTSD.
Oh, there we go. He's a tackle though, but a receiver.
But them TCU skill position players.
Hey, Egg still going through it.
I have no desire to see Cam Scatterboo in a Washington Commanders uniform, man. I don't care what round you put on it. That name is so polarizing because some people have him as like a top 2 back in the class, and some have him on like late day 3. So the takes vary. I don't project that as an NFL running back, man. It does not do it for me for what I want for us as a running back in the building. Culturally and personality wise, and he gets busy on the college. Some people are supposed to get busy in college football, and some guys do it in the pros. That does not look like NFL running back.
Yeah, and man, I don't see this guy as a 1st round pick, but I don't know. There's starting to be some real smoke to this, and we brought him in for that top 30 visit. Lou, I think this probably going to be one of your names on your list too, man. That Olawufemi kid from Oladejo again. That did last in the pass rush win rate out of like 40 edge rushers. And even when you just look at the tape, like he has flashes, but I kind of see it, situational pass rusher, but no way 29th, man. Like some of the smoke that's coming out right now, some people mocking him to us at 29th and things like that. Please, no.
Yeah. So I got a few, man, and all of them are edge rushers that I'm just like, hey, keep these dudes as far away from me as possible.
Is Nick Scorton on that list?
No, I actually like Nick Scorton.
Nick Scorton's solid.
Yeah, I could see him being here.
He doesn't. Yeah, he seems like he would get a commander tag, but does not move the needle at all for me.
I think there's a chance he could actually be good. He's one of those rough, rugged players that he seemed like he'd be a great Raven or Steeler.
He gives me Preston Smith.
Yeah, like they kind of use him in that way, except Preston I think was a little bit bigger. But I could see that, right? So Olufemi Oladipo is one of those dudes. I saw nothing on tape that screamed to me, oh yeah, we got to have that guy. Like, there's no production, and like he is a caveman, right? Where he's just like running into the linemen. They're running plays right across his face. He don't even know where the ball's at, right? I'm just like, yeah, I'm good on him. Please. I get, guys like him definitely give me night terrors because I've seen them come into the league, and one of them was actually on our team before, and I want no parts of guys like that, right? Another guy, Jordan Birch out of Oregon. Don't want any parts of Jordan Birch out of Oregon. None whatsoever. And I'm hoping that us going out and getting Javon Kinlaw keeps a guy like Jordan Birch away from us, far, far away from us, right? Because they kind of do the same thing, okay? And then lastly, please keep Shamar Stewart away from me. Keep Shamar Stewart.
0.5 a year.
You're
not rocking with
that
the
boy
0.5 sacks a season.
He has no production at the college.
Bro, there is no amount of athletic prowess you can convince me he has with that little production, right? And I'm watching it, and I'm dying to see something so I could go, okay, all right, I guess I get it. I don't see it.
0.5 is crazy,
bro. We talking about 3 dudes that are probably going to be gone within the first 2 rounds on that defensive line. How do you not have any sacks? How do you not have any production? Right? You talking about Nick Scorton? They got another Shamar on that line. Shamar
was it Turner
or something like that?
Yeah,
like it's all this talent, bro, and you got nothing. Like I can't do it.
Yeah, that joint with a half a sack more than me a season. Like, nah, that's not gonna do it for me.
Not moving the needle at all for me. So those are guys that I'm like, yeah, no, keep those guys away from me. So when you we talk about 29 all the time. We may or may not make a selection. Talk to me about the 61st pick, because in my mind, of the 2 picks, 61 is probably the one that's more tradable, if you ask me. I think you'll see more interest in that pick than you will somebody wanting to come back into the first. It's a lot less expensive to come back up into the second round than it is the first. And I think that's where the value in this draft is, second into the third round. And I think that's where we may look to strike. Obviously, if you can move back from 29, it'll get you more. And that's probably where the sweet spot is, but I can see them moving on from 61st pick. But if the Commanders are on the board at 61, give me a guy that would interest you there.
Quinshon Judkins. Quinshon Judkins, running back, Ohio State. He's a tank. He's more than fast enough. He has good vision, and when he's not splitting the backfield with a whole nother day 1 or day 2 type pick, like just imagine what he could be as the centerpiece to an offense. I would love to have Quinshon Judkins around that area. I don't know who's going where because this draft's value is all over the place.
Right?
And the meat of it is between the second to probably the end of the fourth round. That's where the draft is going to get good more so. It's not really as top heavy, like because the first round, there are a lot of players with like fledgling first round grades and stuff. Quinshon Judkins would be a really good pick for me at 61 but that would be if the team looks at the running back position the way I do. The team may be good at running back. They may say we already got all our guys back and may ignore the position. But if I'm looking for a running back, Quinshon Judkins, he just looks like an NFL every down dynamic back.
Yeah, it's tough. Oh, yeah.
No. Go ahead, Rico. Go ahead. You got
it's just tough for me to narrow it down because I'm definitely like I just don't think Travion Henderson's gonna be there. But he would be my favorite just because and as much as I love Amarian Hampton and Quinshon Judkins as well, I'd be ecstatic to get out of one. I feel like he would be a great fit, like the home run threat, the third down, and receiving back, and he's also, I feel like, easily the best pass protecting running back in this draft. And it's crazy because he's smaller than a lot of these other running backs, but he's just really good at that. And of course, our most valuable asset is Jaden Daniels. So if you can be on the field, we can trust you on third downs to protect Jaden Daniels. I would love a Travion Henderson. I feel like he would fit very well because then you wouldn't lose any value in Brian Robinson's potentially last year with this. Like Brian Robinson would still have a role as like your third and short, fourth and short, but I think Travion Henderson could be like a more electric Austin Eckler, home run speed, great hands, again, pass protecting. But ideally, maybe like a great talent that has an injury concern, like a Siobhan Revel, somehow makes it that far. That's my best case scenario for me. That's my best case scenario.
Him or Morrison.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say Darion Porter. Now he may go earlier than 61, but I've seen some mocks where he's around that range, running 4.3 40. So we need that for sure coming out of Iowa State. Another guy, Jalen Knoll, too, one of those wide receivers from Iowa State. So but I like Darion Porter. I like his size and speed. We need some speed at the cornerback spot, and we definitely need another corner. We need some more depth there. I do like Jonathan Jones. I do like Marshawn. Love Mikey, but I just think we need another corner in that room for sure.
And I tried to get us one in the first round, and a guy that I won't say definitely, he should be there at 29, is a guy that I'm hoping is there at 61 if we don't get one at 29, and he'll be gone. I know it. I know he'll be gone, but again, I'm hoping that this run on backs and you sprinkle in some tight ends and some defensive linemen, and all of a sudden you look up and Azariah Thomas is still sitting.
Oh my God, that's it. That's it right there. Man.
If I would love for him to get to 61, and if we don't already solve the cornerback position at 29, or if we trade back, but that's the guy that I look at and say, all right, we need a corner. I think most of us. I'm going to ask you guys a question here in a second, but most of us believe that there are probably three positions in particular that this team needs to address heading into the draft, corner being one of them. And I think all of us would love edge rusher, corner, and running back at some point in this draft. With that being said, is there something that the Commanders could do in this draft that would make you upset to no end? Again, we've already established that we're going to rock with whatever is done, but is there not necessarily a player, but just anything in general that they could do in this draft that would make you upset? I'll tell you, pass on running back altogether. Even if you get an undrafted guy, I would still be disappointed. Like I've already given the example of them getting the Michigan running back, Donovan Edwards. Let's say he goes undrafted, and they are able to scoop him up immediately after the draft. That's cool, but he was undrafted for a reason, right? Yep. I want something tangible. This is too good of a running back draft class
to ignore it,
to get nothing out of it. Nothing. This is ridiculous. I would be at a bare minimum baffled if they were just like, oh no, we re-signed Jeremy McNichols. We brought back Chris Rodriguez. No, we good. Like, I would be like, really? We good?
That'd be
Our
interesting
quarterback was
for us
our
to just
leading
run it back.
rusher last year. Right. Like, no, that's not okay. So that's something that would absolutely, to no end, I would not get. But, again, I would ride with it, but I would not be okay with that. Is there something you wouldn't be okay with?
Yeah, trading up for a long snapper would definitely doing something like that. And drafting special teams in general, because I know we have a kicker problem, but I've seen a couple of people be like, "Oh, we should address the kicker in the later rounds."
Boy, Borgales, man, I was watching this pro day. Man.
hey, watching a kicker's pro day is nasty work, Rio. Let's just address that right now. Hey, you really hurt if you watching the kicker's pro day, bro.
it was the end of Cam Ward's joint, man. I just wanted to see what he could do.
Yeah, spending draft capital on a kicker, even if it's the 7th round, I'm not down for that. I know we need a kicker, we need competition and whatnot. I like what Zane did at the end of the year, but he was a little iffy, so I wouldn't go special teams. Other than that, no, like you said, running back, we got to address that. I think we're gonna go a little bit later, kind of, and I don't want to base it off of 30 visits or virtual meetings. I know they met with the guy from Auburn. I think his name's like Jacquez or something. I forgot his name. And he's more projected to go in the later rounds, like 5th, 4th, 6th, or something like that.
He's a burner, though. That's
why
they met.
No, he would change. He would definitely change the pace. Like I would be fine if we draft him in the 5th, 4th, or whatever, 6th round, whatever we got in the middle rounds. I'd be fine with it. But I think that may be an indicator. Like I said, I don't want to base it off 30 visits, but it may be an indicator that we may not address running back until later in the draft.
So let me bring this up because I think I'm gonna talk about this on my show tomorrow. But keep in mind where he came from and how they view the running back position. And
Shanahan them do it.
Yeah, so understand a lot of times they draft in the Mason kid last year, and I think they drafted I remember one year we wanted the running back out of LSU, and they took him right before I think we were planning on taking him. I think that might have been the 3rd round, maybe the 4th round. That's the earliest they've taken it back. You know what I mean? It's usually like Jordan Mason, that was like a 5th round pick. Elijah Mitchell was like a 6th round pick. Like, this is what they normally do. And then they took Garendo, 4th round last year? Or
yeah, it was like 4th or 5th round.
5th round, like that. Like, so just keep in mind, like, that's kind of their MO in San Francisco while he was there. Not necessarily saying that that's his modus operandi, but it might be. You know what I mean? And Jarquez Hunter is definitely in that, day 3, mid day 3, late day 3 type of mold, right? So just something to keep in mind.
Something that they could do that would, I wouldn't say upset me, but it would be very lukewarm at 29, and it would make total sense for the team is draft a guard. I know Jake Gruden has skewed the stigma of the guard forever. Guard. I mean, you drafted me a guard and a receiver that doesn't play. A receiver that doesn't play in a guard.
Yeah.
And a guard.
But
it just would, like, I understand it makes sense. I know Cosme's nursing a knee injury. He may not be back to start the season. I know protecting Jaden is like everything. That's why we made an aggressive trade for Laramie Tunzel. But Donovan Jackson, Booker, Jonah Savanaia, that would not move me at pick 29. That would make me feel very lukewarm, but it would plug in. It would be plug and play guys. They would go take Allegretti's food immediately, and the left side would be fire. So I know that's meat and potatoes. Every team needs meat and potatoes. But at 29, with 5 picks in the draft, I don't think that's where you start.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I agree with all of y'all, really. It's hard to pick any particular position group. Guard would for sure be like the least exciting. Like that.
It's not. It's hard to get excited about offensive linemen in general, but you need them.
Yeah, especially guard. Boy.
Gray Zabel, guard, North Dakota State. We gonna be like, okay.
Good player, great player, but guard.
There we go. Okay. It takes the luster out of night one of the draft.
Yeah, you can't do athletic freak on that one.
Which is worse, taking a guard or trading out of the first round altogether?
Oh, definitely the guard. Trade out of the
Guard,
first round, please.
Guard.
I want to trade out of the first. I'm cool with trading out of the first. Don't
See,
guard me. Don't guard
if you have the
me,
itch to take a guard, just trade back.
Mm-hmm. We can go get Tate Rutledge later.
Yeah, exactly.
So any of the visits thus far spook you?
Not too much from what I've seen. I know this infatuation that everyone has with this Oladipo dude since that came out. Like, he doesn't seem good. Like, he doesn't seem like he's good for real. That must be pure projection. He must be knocking these meetings out of the park. Like, I'm talking about ultimate culture guy. He must have got the commander's tag right off the handshake, because when you watch him, it's like, okay, like I don't get the appeal. So that one, I don't know. I don't understand. It's our second draft with Adam Peters and company and them, so we don't really know yet how they work as far as the drafting the players they've met with and stuff like that. But nothing terrifies me. But the Oladipo thing, I hope we're not about to take this dude a lot higher than people have him going, and that's like a early pick for us.
Yeah, they liked him at the Senior Bowl. They went there to see him a couple of weeks ago in person at the UCLA Pro Day, I believe. And then he's probably got that character like Cleveland Farrell, that leadership. Like
you know they love it. You know they love it.
But I know they met with the Louisville corner. He had a down year last year. He had a really good year 2023. So they're saying like he's more of like a slot guy, but he can play outside too. So that's interesting there. That's another middle round pick. Other than that, they met with some more tackles too. So they're really, really trying to beef up the O-line so they can fool around and get another tackle in the one of those first three rounds.
And I'm cool with the tackle. I'm cool with the tackle, man.
And so I'm gonna tell y'all something. The comp that I have for Olufemi Adejo is Dorrance Armstrong. So I mean that could explain why they
infatuation.
Yeah, I mean they like the way that Dorrance plays. Like if you listen to Joe Witt last year, he kept talking about how Dorrance was one of the few guys that was doing everything they asked him to do, right? And he was physical against the run. And you know, I've always said that Dorrance was at his best when they move him around and put him inside, right, as like a 3-tech. That's when he was his most dangerous. That's when he created the most havoc in Dallas. That's when he was starting to really, become a problem towards the end of the season when they started moving him around. Maybe they see some of those same qualities in Olufemi Adejo, but I mean, I'm like y'all, man. I'm good on him.
I'm all the way good on that.
I hope they don't force feed us that. But again, they know best, and this is the thing. One thing that I struggle with as someone who is not as close to it as they are, I struggle with projections, right? Like without the production, without seeing some of it, they can see a guy's promise and like what he can become. Whereas I need to see it manifest itself in some way, shape, or form in college in order to then say that it will translate to the NFL. Like Shamar Stewart, there are people that think this guy's a top 10 talent.
Yep.
I haven't seen anything that would promote that for me, right?
Nothing other than a workout.
And he killed the workout, right? And but there are people that see those tools and say, "Oh, don't worry about that. It was the scheme. It was this." I remember, and he actually said this coming out, but the edge rusher from Gary, right? That the Packers took in the first round.
Gary, yeah.
I remember him coming out of Michigan. Michigan fans thought he was trash. I was like, I wouldn't do it if I was anybody in the first round. Definitely not top half of the first round. And the Packers took him, and he swore up and down, it was the scheme, it was the scheme, it was the scheme. And he was right. And so sometimes it can be the scheme if the guy's athletically gifted enough, but I don't know, man.
They take him at 20. Well, they take him at 29. What's the reaction?
You already know. Look, so we saw the reaction from the fan base when they didn't agree with one or two moves in free agency.
Yeah, that's gonna be that's gonna
so
be
you already
Forbes
know.
night like. That's gonna be Forbes night like.
Without question. It's gonna be a Forbes like mutiny. Pitchforks and torches out, and we're gonna be up here having to try to be the voice of reason after a 12-5 season that ended in the NFC Championship game. You would have thought that we were giants going out here and signing Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston and having church sermons in the quarterback room. So
and even to add to your point too, like Rashawn Gary was the undisputed #1 player coming out of his high school recruiting class. I remember him coming out. Like Georgia had no chance at him. Like he was the number. It was no hope. He's from New Jersey. He was going to Michigan. They had that pipeline on lock. The guy we're talking about, the Femi kid, is not that type of like athlete. You know, with the Rashawn Gary, again, like it was the system. The natural talent was there. He just had to go to the right place. I'm not sure if there's a right place for Femi. Like I'm with y'all. Like I don't really see it.
Yeah, I know he was a linebacker. Then he just converted to edge this past season. But I know he impressed a lot of people at the Senior Bowl. I think that's where they jumped on or they fell in love with him right there. But yeah, at 29, because I've seen him projected to be in the 4th, 3rd. So that would be,
and that might be what they project him as, and they just they're doing their due diligence. There's no way they're taking him at 29, bro. No way.
I would hope not.
There's no way they're taking him at 29. I don't even think they're thinking about taking him at 61. This is strictly on some 128th overall type stuff. There's no way they're considering taking this dude in the first 2 days of the draft. It's got to be a day 3 thing. If he's there, we'll take him type deal. But I hope I'm wrong, and they're not considered taking him at all. But clearly they're interested, so there's that, right? Oh man. Anyway, let's get to the comment section. Jared talks football. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Jared writes, "You shall not pass."
You shall not pass.
Hey, shout out to all 700 of y'all out there in the comment section. Hit the like button. We greatly appreciate you. It helps this channel grow exponentially. Subscribe for more great content if you haven't already done so, and turn on that notification bell so you do not miss a thing. Davon Cash.
What up, what up?
Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Davon writes, "What's good, Kings? What's good with you? Hope you all are doing well. Likewise. Just passed my driver's test today." Hey,
congratulations, bro. Let's go. Get active, man. Yeah.
Hey, nothing like becoming independent, man. And I always tell the youth of America, the first step to becoming truly independent is having your driver's license and some wheels, right? Ain't nothing worse than getting off of work and having to wait for your ride. Ain't nothing worse than wanting to go somewhere and having to have somebody either take you or pick you up. Yeah. So shout out to Davon, man.
Wield that privilege wisely, because that car is a vehicle is a weapon. So
if not used correctly. Absolutely. Saw a few Commanders gears out here in Cali, almost made me cry. LOL. Hey, we starting to spread, man.
Look at us, man.
We starting to spread a little bit, man. That's that Jaden Daniels effect.
Hey, them
I think it's a mix everywhere. I think it's a mix of spread, and a lot of people were just ashamed to be a fan. Now we just come out of hiding.
Yeah, no,
but
you're not wrong.
I think we are adding some more. I think we are adding some people too that are like, wait, I like watching. Like you said, your boy. I think he said he was a Raiders fan.
Yep.
They enjoys watching us more than he enjoyed watching his team. We were must watch TV last year, and I think we'll continue to be that.
Yeah, that was strictly off the strength of Jaden, though. He was like, yeah, I can't miss Jaden Daniels.
Must see television, man.
Hey, you're not wrong, man. I think that's a very valid point, Rico. My neighbor was I didn't even know. my neighbor was a Commanders fan. Till this year, bro. That's been my neighbor for 4 years. Didn't even know my neighbor was a Commanders fan till like mid-November. Okay.
Our quarterback got so much motion, he can't even sit next to a friend at a basketball game without being a top storyline, bro. That is
it was trending. It was trending, bro.
Superstardom.
It was trending, bro.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. His mom is a big reason of that too, though.
It is. But even before Mom's inserted herself in the middle of that, it was already like, oh, look at that. Right.
And then there's the Twitter people who have made them cousins with no confirmation of that.
Bro, somebody sent me a message saying, yeah, they cousins. And then they had the like AI joint. You know how you ask it and they give you an answer, like Grok, right? And it was like, yeah, based off of somebody's social media post that said,
based on
hey, Mark cousins.
Mark 227524 on Twitter said they're cousins. Like you know what? Their family tree fam. They look real chummy over there. Man. They was vibing.
I will say this: I've never seen Juju's eyes that wide open before, and I've never seen her teeth ever. Man, all of her teeth.
Yeah,
they're both some stoic, chilling Cali Breeze type people, and they were showing all teeth together.
Bro, I'm telling you, like they seem like they would be made for each other.
I wasn't shit at that game that funny
at all. And I will say, it seemed like it got a lot less funny when Moms got in the middle of them. I ain't gonna front.
Yeah, she pointed at the game. She told Jaden,
hey, what's the game now? Like, Lord. Hey, I'm gonna say this too. He gonna get tired of that shit real quick.
Oh yes,
of course.
He probably is, but he loves his mother.
He loves his mom to death. But I know
she's a part of the business now too. So she just there.
And knowing her, she probably hates Malik Neighbors. Like if you just like can tell from Malik Neighbors' personality,
she definitely hates his friend.
She hates Malik Neighbors. When he's around Neighbors how he's acting. When they was at the flag football game, I love a lot of talent. I'm seeing a lot of talent out there. Oh yeah, she hates Malik Neighbors.
She probably be like, boy, you better be on your best behavior when you going with Malik. You going with Malik this week? Boy,
Malik again.
Don't make no headlines, boy. Don't make no headlines this week.
Yeah, she only wants him to hang out with Bobby Wagner, somebody who's real mature.
Bobby Wagner.
She's like
35 and up.
She's like, is Bobby going with y'all?
Don't let him hang with Tunzel and Payne. Don't let him hang with Tunzel and Payne in the offseason.
His Wagner got a chaperone for
definitely keep my mans away from Tunzel, bro. Not hanging out with him at all whatsoever, man.
Tunzel have Jaden out there making it rain at the club. Him and Payne. Him and Big.
Not having that, bro. Rosario Satara Pileski, my guy. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, greetings. I asked a humble request for some Commanders Kings merch on the spring store and the print champs, especially hoodies and sweaters. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. And we're gonna work on that, man. We're gonna work on getting the merch to the masses eventually. I appreciate you inquiring about that, man. You're not the first person to inquire about that, so we gonna get on that, man. And we really appreciate you, man. Thank you for the support. Brandon Davis, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Brandon writes, fellas, how y'all feel about JD Fiesmont? We literally just talked about that. It's crazy that you brought it up.
It's the big topic, man.
As a parent of two 24-year-olds, at a certain point, you have to trust what you poured into your child. That was ridiculous. Now, see, we don't know like the basis for that. She could have been sitting there the whole time, right? And then she went to go get something to eat and came back, and
that's what they decided to show us,
right? And so he scooted over, was chatting it up, and then Moms was coming back, and he just scooted back over, and she sat back in her seat. Who's to say that she inserted herself? Like they was sitting there, and then she came down, and like we don't know the context.
We do see her everywhere though. With him.
Yeah.
Now, there is the documentary where she said her biggest fear is for a lady to come and
get her claws in him.
Claws in him. They have a poster of Jaden Daniels in their room and all this stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's the basis for everybody assuming that she's cock blocking, right? But again, we don't know like the
we're
context
all
behind that.
we're all doing it. We were pulling out our PhDs for body language and verbal cues and all that because nothing's happening in football world right now. So something like that's a big deal. When you got a quarterback with this much motion, they make headlines. Not everybody's quarterback is making moves and making waves like that.
Bro, he was trending on all social media apps.
We're just watching March Madness,
and he was on the bottom line of ESPN, and they ended SportsCenter with that.
He was there last night when she tore her ACL too, and prayers up and a speedy recovery to Juju.
Juju,
he was there again at her game where she got hurt too.
Yeah, mom wasn't there that time last night. He was there by himself.
And he does love hoop, right? He loves hoop, bro. So he gonna be there, but that's crazy. That's wild, man.
I think relationship wise, it's interesting. I just don't. I think she's fine with the team where don't want to bring up RG3. You saw some of the craziness with him on Twitter last week, but like his parents were more toxic. I would say
it was the dad
going into the locker room. And
it was the dad, bro.
Yeah, like we haven't seen that with Jaden. I think when the rib injury happened, like I think Adam Peters told her what was going on. She tweeted out like Jaden's fine, stuff like that. We didn't have any
and that's it
going on and stuff like that. So that's the positive thing I'll say about his mom. Now, relationship wise with Jaden, like she's gonna have to let him do his thing. And Juju's probably the perfect lady to have. If he had a relationship, I feel like she would be an example woman because she's got her own thing. It's not like she's a gold digger. Like she's got her own NIL money, stuff like that. So I don't
create a super athlete.
Yeah, I don't know what was said, but I will say that in defense of Jaden's mom, we don't have any toxicity that we've seen so far as like going in the locker room, telling the coaches or the owner what to do. Like we haven't seen anything like that.
Did y'all see the Junkies had a talking point on their show this week about who's worse between Jaden's mom and RG3's dad or something crazy like that? This is why nobody watches that. Like it's crazy.
What?
Nah.
What are we talking about?
Yeah, man. And honestly, what she decides to do with her son is none of our business.
None of ours.
It does. Like that's the only. I get it that he is a public figure now, and so is she to a lesser degree. But so is she because of who he is, and because he's so, he's so out in the forefront of everything now that her presence just being near him, his gravity is crazy. So anybody near him is automatically going to be, in the spotlight as well. But she is, I don't know if she's his agent, but she is a certified agent. And I would assume a manager of his, I would assume she handles a lot of his affairs and things of that nature. So she's going to be around. But how she decides to parent her son is her business. It's their business. It's not our business. But again, people love to insert themselves into stuff. As long as he's slanging that thing, the rock, I'm talking about the ball. Right? Let me be clear. Like this is how I get myself into trouble, right?
Yeah.
Maybe I should just insert a pause there. Pause. Let me just act like I'm from New York and say pause.
That was about to be opposite of what you were going for.
No. Let me make sure that I clarify myself. As long as he's throwing the football very well for the Washington Commanders, and he continues to play at a high level, I don't give a damn what he does. Right? I mean, obviously, I don't want him out here doing crazy shit, but he's not that type of guy. Like, I have zero worries about him off the field. None. So I'm cool with it, man. Like, I hear you, Brandon, but honestly, his mom can parent him however she sees fit. And
she's done a wonderful job.
Absolutely, she has. And so, who am I to tell her to stop doing what she feels like is in the best interest of her son? Right? That's his conversation to have with his mom. If he don't like it, he can just address that with his mom, obviously. Captain Obvious, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Captain Obvious writes, Gabe Taylor, pick, undrafted, or not on team. What do y'all think about him?
Definitely not a pick. He's not like, does anyone have him forecasted to be drafted? Like, I'm not even trying to be that guy. I know he's a legacy. I know he's the brother of Sean Taylor, and he's actually productive at Rice. But does anybody have him forecasted to even be selected in the 2025 NFL draft?
I'm about to go check the safety position and see.
His names are not even on the simulator. Like you can't even like mock draft him to your team, and I'm not even trying to be that guy. Like I'm not drafting Shiloh Sanders, and I've actually seen Shiloh Sanders play football. But he's like a smaller safety. He actually produced at Rice, but I have like if he's here, it's because we signed him as an undrafted free agent.
Yeah, I don't think he is getting drafted, but I don't see any reason why somebody won't give him a camp invite.
Yeah, he's productive. You know, he catches interceptions. He's a short tackler. He brings the boom. He can hit all of that good stuff. But I know we want to draft him because of the story and all that. But I'm past drafting guys because of a story.
Rico, why you weak, Rico?
This ain't Hallmark. This ain't Lifetime.
Ever since he said you can't even find him on the simulator, like, bro, he ain't lying, bro. Like,
he ain't even like $4.99 on that joint, bro.
Yeah, man. Like,
you gotta import him to the list, like on Madden when you download the draft class and shit. Shout out Gabe, though. Shout out Gabe.
Hey, you can't cancel everything you just said with a shout out.
Shout out my boy Gabe.
You can't cancel everything you just said with a shout out to Gabe. That's some real Joe. That's some real Joe Budden shit right there. Trash a dude for like 10 minutes and then shout out to Gabe Taylor, bro. Hey, you can't do that shit.
He ran good at his pro day for the audience of one.
Yeah, he ran good.
Yeah,
I would love to bring him in as an undrafted free agent, but not a draft pick. That's
fans gonna be like unretired 21. It's his birthright and all this stuff. Yeah. It's gonna get weird. It's gonna get weird as hell. I'm cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fans that have been asking me about him since the process started. I'm like, bro, I don't. If he can play ball, it'll manifest itself into a pick. But like, we can't be just drafting dudes based off a legacy. Like, what are we doing here? Like, y'all gotta let that go.
He hoops for Rice. Like, he hoops for Rice, though. Like, he actually produces. Like,
hey, we got one of those on the roster already. We don't need another one, right? we got one of those Rice guys already on the roster. We don't need another one, right?
Shout out Gabe, though.
Go ahead and give him the Thaddeus Moss deal, off the name.
Hey.
Give him a UDFA tryout deal.
That's all he need. That's all he need, bro. Just so you can say, right? Hey, we gave him a look-see, right? Christopher McLaughlin, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, C-Mac, writes, hey, Lou, Rico, Rico, and Ed. What's up, Chris? Hope everyone is doing well. Likewise, as always, thank you for the $50 dono, man. Like always, you always come through and bless us. We appreciate you. 3 questions. 1, what position should we look at, or is it BPA for each of the day 3 picks? 2 and 3, how important is home field or number 1 seed in the NFC, or at least having a better record than the Eagles for the playoffs, and why? That second one, the number 1 seed isn't as big, but winning the division is. Because if you win the division, then that means the Eagles can't have a higher seed than you, right? Yeah. What we've seen is Jalen Hurts does not have a road playoff victory to his name. He hasn't proven that he can win on the road yet. And I'm not saying that he can't, but he hasn't, right? Whereas they've won at home. That's all they've done is win at home. They have not lost a playoff game with Jalen Hurts at the helm. So I would like to test that theory to see if they can go on the road and win, because I haven't seen it. So yes, I think having a better record than the Eagles is important. We've shown we can go on the road and win. Yeah. We've shown that. So we don't have to have the number 1 seed, but it'd be nice to get a
bye,
a home playoff game, a bye, and have the playoff, the road to the Super Bowl in the NFC come through Washington. That'd be awesome.
Having to play 2 playoff games instead of 3 sounds fire.
Yeah. Now you got to win, right? Like the Lions came off that bye and got smoked. So, it don't always work out that way. But positions that we should look at for day 3 picks, or is it just BPA? And again,
all of them.
Yeah, I think it at the end of the day, what happens on day 3 will be determined heavily by what happens in days 1 and 2. Because if they've already taken care of corner, running back, and edge rusher, but let's say we traded back and we had 3 picks in day 2, right? Let's say they trade back at 29 and all of our picks are in the 2nd and 3rd round and we got 3 of them. And they already took care of running back, edge rusher, and corner.
Yep.
At that point, I'm like, yo, do whatever you feel the need to do, right? I got, you know what I'm saying? Like, but ultimately what they do in those first 2 days, I think is going to make a big difference. What says you guys?
For me, I think it's clearly best player available just off of the fact that like with our free agency strategy of just bringing in a bunch of just playable guys. Like right now, we don't have a Michael Davis equivalent of any position group right now. Like we have a bunch of guys that when in doubt, even if the draft got canceled, they could play on Sunday this upcoming season. You wouldn't necessarily love it. You're looking for upgrades, but they're playable. So I feel like with the later round, like the 7th round and stuff like that, draft ceiling. Draft a guy that has the potential to be better than what you already have. I don't think there's any necessary. I don't think we have a big enough hole by the time we reach the 7th round to where we got to draft a guy for his floor that we're expecting to contribute and play day 1.
Rio has said it time and time again, and I forget the exact phrase he used, but essentially, like blue chippers, like
difference makers,
whatever he said. That's what I'm on. Like, I don't really care what position, just draft guys that move the needle, right? So that's kind of where I am. What says you guys?
Yeah, blue chipper. Yeah, if it's a running back, like the guy from Auburn who's got speed in the 4th or 5th round. Let's say we didn't get one in the first 3 rounds. Speedy running back just to change the pace. Speedy receiver to change the pace, take the top off the defense just to bring something different to the team for sure. So I'm with that. Cornerback. It doesn't matter if they like another tackle or even a guard. I like that too. So a linebacker. As long as they bring some speed, something different to the team, blue chipper, yeah, I'm with that.
Guys that can get out and make a difference, that can be contributors in year 1, like not necessarily a finished product, but less science experiments and more like more sure things. Like this guy's going to add a wrinkle to our offense that we don't have already. He's going to make a difference. Guys that other teams have to actually put on the scouting report, not just he's a good culture guy and plays special teams. You know, we're not a bunch of Troy Apke's and stuff like that. I want guys that go out there and get after it. Best player available.
So any additions to the Eagles comment of, is it important to have home field advantage or the number 1 seed in the NFC, or at least a better record than the Eagles in the playoffs?
It's definite. I would rather the Eagles come down to Northwest than us to go back up to the Link for a playoff game. If like that should be the preference for everybody. And seeing how no one has repeated in this division in 21 years, there's a good chance that we could win the division this year. And if we take care of business, even with a harder schedule, that's what comes with the territory, man. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. If we're an actual good football team, we're going to have to show the world. So yes, I definitely think it matters how seeding and stuff works out, because Philly getting the number 1 seed again, that's Spooktown.
Oh yeah. Number 1 seed. I was going to say weather-wise, but for us too, it's the same. I know the Philly Rams game, it actually was snowing way worse in Philly than it was here, so that's somewhat of a factor. But yeah, you look around the NFC East too. Like you look, I know we haven't brought up the moves of Russell Wilson much, and then the alleged trade of or the Browns.
Man, they ain't
fake. Oh my God, fake news, man. These guys.
Why even talk about that stuff? That's crazy.
Oh
I don't even think that if they wanted to, they could trade him. Like the acceleration to the cap would probably be nuts and insane. I don't know how that works, but generally, when you sign a guy to a contract extension, it's hard to trade him those first 2 years of that contract. It's ridiculous, but that's crazy. I heard that stuff, man. That's wild.
It's been circulating all day. But yeah, no, of course, yeah, we definitely could use that home field advantage. I mean, we haven't had a home game, 2nd round game since I can remember was it 99 or that?
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that would be great because yeah, you don't want to go to Philly. not gonna bring up the refs or anything like that. I mean, we had the Hockley crew again, right? So that didn't work out great for us.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, you definitely want to put the pressure on the Eagles or whoever it's gonna be. Like it could be the Rams, for all we know, it could be the Rams in the NFC Championship game, and they got to come to DC at the time different. Cold and not playing in the dome. Could be Detroit having to come here again or something like that. So it could not even be the Eagles. It could be another team that we have to worry about. That's in a whole they play in a dome or they play in a whole different time zone and a dome. So there's definitely a lot of factors that could go in our favor.
Do y'all think home field is really going to be home field for us this year?
Yeah, I think there's gonna be a lot of people on the bandwagon now.
I feel like that Falcons game showed the potential.
Yeah, we brought the casuals back, man.
I hope y'all are right, because I'm sick of. Because look, we know when we play the NFC East teams, they're gonna be in the stadium, but it needs to be more like 20% Eagles fans, Giants fans, Cowboys fans.
And them Eagles fans travel so well, and that's just a bus ride for them and not a flight. They always gonna be teetering to the around the 45-50% mark.
We got to kill that because it didn't used to be that way. You know what I'm saying?
And we play the Steelers too, so like.
Yeah,
that was going to happen.
This is the year where we're going to find out how much progress we made in that year. If you can't do it after a trip to the NFC Championship game with all of the fanfare that Jaden Daniels has brought to the team,
it might not be able to be done.
It might not happen until we get a new stadium or something. I don't know, man. It's just wild to me. That's one of the things I'm really looking forward to seeing is how the fans respond this year, and can we really truly that like the Falcons. I don't really put a ton of stock into it for this reason. They don't travel well, right? The Falcons fan base don't travel well. They don't take over stadiums. Like that was the perfect game for them to flex in the Sunday night where we could flex our muscles as a fan base because we knew we were going to be deep in that game. I want to see what it looks like when you're playing some of these teams that do travel well at home. So that's going to be really interesting this year because we got a lot of games against teams that their fan bases are just excited, or in the case of Dallas, Philadelphia, and the Giants, they always come in the building and, I don't want to say take over, but they make it really interesting from a crowd perspective. Ralph, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Ralph writes, appreciate you, Kings. Appreciate you, Ralph. You know what it is. Yes, LT, Rio, Rico, and Ed, much love. Much love to you, Ralph, man. We really appreciate you. The Commandalorian, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Commandalorian writes, Rio, I'm feeling that hurricane gear, my boy. I'm honestly looking for us to trade back if there isn't a can't miss prospect on the board, HTTC Kings. So what constitutes a can't miss prospect being on the board? Is there even one that you think could be available at 29? Can't miss feels like something you say for top 5, top 10, right?
Like one of those, your boy Will Johnson, if he's there at 29, I think that would constitute the phrase can't miss. What about y'all?
I mean,
have
for
a handful of guys. I have almost probably double-digit guys that I'm hoping falls there, and there's no way I'm trading back.
Right,
Michael Williams.
That's his guy. That's his guy.
Walter Nolan, please let him. I saw a mock draft where he made it to the Eagles. I'm like, there's no way. That's literally the next Jalen Carter if I've ever seen it.
Yeah.
If Ted McMillan was on the board at 29, would y'all take him?
Yeah, I don't even want to see that bad, but I
don't. The way he was glazing Jaden, I might have to take him.
I forgot about that. I forgot.
Yeah, I might have to just off the strength of that. Like, come on, he want to be a commander. let's sign him up, man. Turn the card in. It's hard to say can't miss, but when you at 29, but. Look, I think
once again, if Donovan E is there, then I think that's somebody you go ahead and take.
That's somebody it would be, unless the offer was really good. Like I would be strongly trying to make that draft pick if Ezaraku was on the board.
And there's a chance he could be on the board.
It is a very good chance.
Yes.
We need a run of something in the draft. I don't know what it is yet. We need a quarterback that like Jackson Dart to sneak up there, and we need a run of
wide receiver run. We need a big wide receiver run. Like, I mean, you see the Kyle Williams hype already. The people, Trey Harris, and hopefully Luther Burden's stock goes back up because it's been plummeting lately. We need a big wide receiver.
They call him Burden a surefire second round pick.
Yeah, no. A wide. I can tell you. That's one position that will not have a run in the first round. Is wide receiver. It will be second round for sure with that position. If it's a run in the first round, it'll be defensive linemen, like defensive tackles. It's a ton of them. And if the running back position gets hot in the first round, that's something else that could happen. But it's really going to be offensive linemen, because it's always offensive linemen. Even in a draft like this one where it's not a great draft, that's even more reason for people to reach up and grab theirs, right? Because I know it ain't a lot of them. D-line is always crazy. You know it's going to happen. And I think you might get more tight ends in this first round than normal. You know, you might get 3 maybe, but the number is probably more so 2.
2.
Yeah. So
crazy if it's 1.
It wouldn't shock me if it was just 1. But if it was just 1, then that would mean Colston Loveland was on the board at 29. We've had that discussion already, although we know they're probably not gonna do it.
Yeah, tight end room seems set at this point.
I would definitely take him at 29.
So
that's your Zach Ertz successor right there.
Exactly. Colston Loveland or Colston Yankoff.
Right.
Colston, I'm struggling here.
And Loveland definitely jumping Ben Sinnott on the roster. So
without question, he could then turn into
John Bates.
No, he could turn into the fullback. I was saying, well, y'all got that.
Go ahead, put your hand in the dirt, bro. We good. We good over here.
Oh man, Matt. What up, Scrappy? Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Greg, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Greg writes, man, I enjoyed y'all dialogue on Trey Harris last week. He kind of reminds me of Rashid Rice for some reason. Also, I'm willing to take a risk on Pierce. I don't think any of us are opposed to it. It's them that probably will be opposed to it. Like, I was watching his tape the other day, and I was like, God, I would love to have somebody like that on our team.
I think Dan Quinn would say I could fix him.
Hey,
Dan Quinn said we get that boy right.
Michael Parsons had character concerns coming up.
Hey, hell yeah, the booty bandit. He was the booty bandit at Penn State. And him and Dan Quinn was like father and son in Dallas, bro.
Wait a minute, man. Time out, man. Hey, hold on a minute, man. Wait, what are we doing right now?
He was like a serial humper at Penn State. He hump-hazed the kid out of the Penn State program. And like he was the booty bandit in that Penn State locker room. And him and Dan Quinn was like this, bro. James Pierce can be an asshole all he wants to. Dan Quinn never get him right.
You can't say booty bandit and then asshole in the next sentence. we gotta set some limits here, Rio, man.
Can we move into another part of the body with the analysis?
That was how Michael Parsons was moving back then.
Hey,
bro.
no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, man.
Not wrong at all. You're not wrong at all.
And his infractions aren't even nowhere near as severe, but also the talent is not anywhere near as great. Like James Pierce is really talented. He ain't Michael Parsons though.
Generational.
Yeah, he ain't Michael Parsons. So, like somebody said earlier, you willing to take a risk on talent? It's levels to it though, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as far as Trey Harris reminded you of Rashid Rice, it'd be interesting to see how he turns out. Because I like Trey Harris a lot.
He's good.
And if we didn't have like 27 receivers on the roster already, like I'm like a part of me died when we signed, even though that doesn't preclude us from drafting a receiver. Part of me died when we signed up Michael Gallup. Because I was like, probably not going to do anything now at receiver. And I really wanted to do something. Somebody, let me ask y'all this. Am I tripping? And y'all be honest with me. I might be tripping. Y'all can tell me if I'm tripping or not. Somebody said, bro, Matter of fact, I'm gonna save it because Q Dog was the one that said it to me. So I'm gonna save it. He the next super chat up.
Okay.
Captain Obvious, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Is that your second one? It feels like your second one. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. It is.
Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes? Which side of the ball improved most in free agency?
Definitely the offense. I mean,
I feel like easily.
if you consider, if we separate trades and just a free agent signing, you can look at it differently. But honestly, yeah, you got to go with the offense because I'll just group it together because it's in that time frame. It was like after the tampering period started. The Tunsil trade. I know Debo. We traded him right before. We traded for him right before the official tampering period. But just adding Tunsil to the roster, adding Debo. I mean, you make the offensive line way better. You get a legit left tackle. You move Brandon Coleman inside or the right tackle, whatever they're going to do with him. So that improves the offensive line for sure. Then you got another weapon next to Terry McLaurin. So offense for me for sure. Just making the offensive line better, and you get a legit. You may not call Debo a number 2, but just the production is going to be anywhere. It's going to be way better than what we've seen the past 6-7 years that Terry's been here at the wide receiver 2 spot.
Can I just say it? A guy named Captain Obvious. Did that not seem obvious to y'all?
Yeah, the offense is. I mean, you could just stop at the trades,
right? That's it. Like,
and the offense already elite. That's the crazy. That's a top 4 offense in the NFL. Here you go, Laramie Tunsil and Debo Samuel. And
now, I would add that like our biggest weakness that we had to fix stopping the run, you could give the defense that nod, but the offense just offer. I mean, the fact that they traded, again, the trades, like they gave up draft capital. Adam Peters loves his draft capital. If anybody is the most hurt about going into this draft with only 5 picks, it's Adam Peters more than anybody else. That's why I hate how like a lot of Commanders fans are like upset with him, but that like he shed a tear giving away all of those draft picks for getting Laramie Tunsil, but he knew that it was necessary to get blue chip players at positions that matter the most, like left tackle, getting Jaden Daniels, another weapon. So offense for sure. Even just the fact that we gave up draft capital to get those guys. As
a fan base, we need to all be in football prayer circles because if Michael Gallup can still play football, that's gonna if he can actually play. That's going to be such a good signing because he's making like minimum wage playing football for us this year. If he can actually play football and like almost starter quality football opposite like Terry and Debo, that would be huge.
I mean, he was a 1,000-yard receiver. I just don't think he has it.
What if we did all of that on the D-line and we still can't stop the run?
Oh, God.
I'd be sick.
It is a possibility.
That is because Dan Quinn's defenses do not stop the run. This is traveled with them. This is the stigma of a Dan Quinn defense.
But I mean, I feel like even like DB wise, we improved stopping the run wise. Like Jonathan Jones is better at stopping the run than Benjamin St. Juste and Michael Davis ever were. Will Harris gets lost on like, change of direction stuff, misdirection things. But I mean, he's willing to come up and hit somebody if he has to. And I think naturally with Jordan McGee, if he can stay healthy, that's going to be a big bonus. So I feel like even outside of just the defensive line additions, we should be better. And then also on top of the fact you can't be as bad as you were last year when you're literally the worst in the NFL.
We need Kinlaw to look like coming out of college Kinlaw as well, because he's getting a nice little pretty penny on that line. I'm tired of seeing guys on the line getting money and not producing. So Kinlaw, you're not allowed to come here and for us to forget about you on Sundays. Your name needs to be called.
And to that point, Deron Payne contract year, that
Mr. Forgotten.
That boy about to go out there and go to the Pro Bowl. He about to go to the Pro Bowl this year. That run stopping about to suddenly get way better.
We about to talk about pass rushers. Deron in a contract year is different.
Bruh.
He hit different. That's the thing. It's funny because we all acting like he going into a contract. He still got 2 years left, but it feels like He about to get
They
Jonathan
Jonathan
Allen.
Allen and people like
because we can get it because we can kind of get out of there.
Yeah, it's like a Jonathan Allen.
Jonathan
type
Allen is a
setup.
verb now. He can get
Yeah.
Jonathan
He
Allen.
can Jonathan Allen,
He can
right?
Jonathan Allen him next year. So,
He can
and I'm pretty sure he's well aware. I'm pretty sure he's well aware.
Q Dog, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. So Q Dog tried to fry me. He said, "Bro, it's March, and you talking about punt returners." So let me explain myself. On the show, I had a show I think last week. I think it was the Michael Gallup one because to me, Michael Gallup doesn't complete the room, but it feels like he completed the room, right? Now you have 6 guys that I think they actually feel like they invested in. Again, Michael Gallup is, to your point, Rio, he's on a vet minimum. So there's no guarantees there. They cut him. He doesn't have to make this team. We've signed plenty of guys last year that were here that didn't make the team, right? So he could be another one. They could draft a receiver. It's not out of the realm of possibility. But I said last year, I wanted to upgrade punt returner, right? But at least you had Jamison Crowder and Olamide Zaccheaus on the roster.
Yep.
So worst case scenario, you got a guy that can at least do it. We don't have anybody that can do it right now, at least not to my knowledge. I could be wrong, and there could be somebody with punt return, like somebody had brought up KJ Osborne had punt returning capabilities when he was at, I think,
Minnesota?
When he was at Buffalo.
Oh, okay.
The University of Buffalo.
Yeah, college.
And did it at Miami a little bit too, and he was actually successful at it. So maybe that's an option. And so Q Dog, I'm gonna stop talking about punt returner. You're right. But he says, anyone else excited to see the new War Room?
I'm kind of excited to see it because like our shit be looking like a potluck. Like it'd be looking like a work potluck based on if we're talking about the War Room, like the draft War Room with Peters and them.
Yeah.
Remember Josh Harris and them came in and Peters and them, yeah, that's not it. That's not it. We can't be doing this no more.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at everybody, first of all, I should just look old and outdated.
Yeah. It looked like where you eat after church service is over, like where everybody come in the room and get you a plate and sit down at the little table.
Yo, our joint looks so disjointed. Nobody's near the guy, next to him. You want a high five, you got to stand up, right? We've seen like full-fledged conference rooms where it looked like a theater in there. Or guys are able to kind of like huddle up. It's set up. It's nice. Our jank just look old.
Yeah, like a bingo hall.
So
it's trash.
I mean, I wasn't even thinking about it till you brought it up, though. Now that you said something, they had a whole episode of Commander's Log last year showing some of the improvements that they were making, and that was one of them. So I guess we will get to see it.
Yeah, on Commander's Log. Yep. It's gonna be lit.
Just have it out at Cliff's house in Arizona, man. He had a beautiful setup when he was with the Cardinals. Just go ahead and do it out there.
Him and Sean McVay, boy.
You want to
know how to do it.
You want to see the levels to this shit? Go ahead after the draft. Give it about a month or so. And go watch a bunch of different NFL teams' draft coverage of when they're making the calls to their prospect. There is such a difference between our facility and everybody else.
Oh, yeah. It's not even close, bro. All you got to do on draft day is watch when they shoot into their war rooms when they're on the clock and watch and see how it looks. Like, it's night and day difference, bro. We got to be bottom third of the league in, I'd say probably bottom 5 in the league.
But our report card grade did go up. It skyrocketed up from last year, from 2 years ago.
We got we big B plus out here now.
Stephen Banks, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate. Oh, hold on. Before we go to Stephen, did you two guys watch the Commander's Log episode?
Oh yeah.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Got that homework.
Beautiful, man. I ain't gonna lie, y'all brought it up in the last stream. That moment with Terry in the Lions game, caught that screen and they slowed it down to give him his speech, and they took. Come on now.
that ain't
transition.
that ain't set it off.
That was crazy.
I know what they gonna say about me.
And that was beautiful.
He gone. Like that joke was
that
fire.
That one hit.
Yeah.
They putting that shit together now.
I gotta watch it, man.
Oh my God, I knew that's when Ed Smile was. Ed still hadn't watched it yet.
Smile was sinister. I knew it.
Too much Terps going on right now, but I'm gonna lock in and watch it.
Oh, well, don't worry. All of that in what, Thursday and Friday?
Hopefully, you're a Duke fan, so hopefully we see you. Hopefully we see you though.
Hey,
hopefully
y'all are dead. Both your women and your men's dead. Bow bow.
You never know. You never know.
I'm sick of them gators on you. Let's see where we at. Stephen Banks, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Stephen writes, first of all, thank you for the $20 dono, man. Really appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Says, I am late, but Rio, where have you been? I was waiting for that live at 1:05 p.m.
I'm on spring break right now, man. I'm on spring break right now. We're gonna ramp it up in April as we push toward the draft. I should be streaming either tomorrow or Friday just to get something out this week. But my kiddos are on spring break right now. I've been dealing with some things and I've been getting active out here. So yeah, I got y'all, man. I'm still here. I'm still here. I got y'all, bro.
Let that man enjoy his spring break with his kids, man. Got this man out here having to explain himself. His kids on spring break.
Hey, we're gonna get active in April. We're gonna count down this draft, baby. Let's go.
Y'all already know what it is. Hey, big shout out to Steven, man. Really appreciate you. Captain Obvious, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, Captain Obvious writes, will we get new uniforms in 2026? I don't think so.
No, I think they're gonna add a new jersey to the rotation is what's expected, but new uniforms, no.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm waiting on the Riggins design, or the one that everybody was talking about. I guess they're gonna wait to announce that
Riggins
draft. Remember they said the Riggins 1.0 or whatever, like the design.
Yeah, that's the classic joint.
Yeah, they wanted to go back to the classic. So I mean, I haven't seen any concrete.
I'm guessing it's the white jersey. It's gonna be an older white jersey. It's gonna look like the older joints.
The one that you don't like.
Yeah, the TJ Maxx chic. Yeah, that jump. Them jump, bro.
Yo, that look. So I don't have any issues with the burgundy Commanders jersey, and the black is absolutely fire, right? It's the white ones. They don't look like they belong.
They can use some more gold on them, but them joints clean, bro. I like the gradient. That joint.
The gradient is crazy because it's, first of all, it's not even like, it's like magenta. It's not
you mix some gold in that thing. That joint going.
Where would you put it? Where would you put it?
I don't know. They can find a way to put some gold on it. But I like them so much more than our old white jerseys that I don't care.
I think. So here's the thing. I think that you have to. So I remember I went to the stadium one time, and what was the team president? The old team president, Jason Wright was talking about. He was telling us about the jerseys, and he was giving us all the NFL mandates as to how it works. And one of the things is, in order for you to have a alt uniform, you have to have that color in one of your jerseys.
And that's why the black is on the white jersey.
Yes. That's where I was going with that. So you can't totally get rid of that if you want to continue to wear the black alt uniforms. So I think they're not going to do away with that. To Rio's point, it may be like they wear it once a year or something like that. You know, pick up like the homecoming game.
Yeah.
Wear it that week, right? You got the old alum there. They want to see the uniform they used to wear. And I think that would be the time you would probably bust that joint out every year. So
our equivalent of like a throwback, pretty much.
Exactly. That's what it would be. Aaron Thomas, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Aaron writes, I don't know if y'all talked about this yet, but what do you guys think about T-Mac falling to us?
I don't see McMillan falling that far, but I brought it up earlier. Like, he's one of those guys that if he was there for whatever reason, you got to have a conversation. If not taking him, somebody got to be willing to come up the board like, okay, this is not supposed to be here at this point. So that's a guy, that's one of those can't miss guys that has no business being there at 29.
It's always a team that need a receiver. I just can't see him falling all the way to 29. He might not go in the top half of the first round like initially thought, but I can't see him falling past a team like, say, the Chargers or some team like that could use a big body wide receiver. I know they signed Mike Williams back, but that's a 1-year deal, right? Like,
he's cooked. Yeah.
So, I just can't see him getting to 29. But if he did get to 29, again, the more the merrier. I want as many high-level options available to us as possible, because not only does that elevate the value of the pick, it gives us more options to feel good about. Because it's hard to miss if you feel like, man, it's 5 dudes here. I'll take any one of them. Like Rico said earlier, it's like 5 dudes. I'll take any of them if they there at 29. Like, that's the kind of energy that I'm trying to be on.
Yep.
And Tet would be one of those dudes, in my estimation.
I agree.
Davon Cash, double up, thank you for doubling up. Greatly appreciate you, who writes, I should ask what's going on with the NFC North, mainly the Bears and Lions fans. They still are hurting. Like, damn, y'all started this fight with us. I haven't really run into too many Lions fans. It's the Bears fans that's definitely still salty.
Boy.
Oh no, the Lions fans have disdain for us too. They're still wait till we see y'all without all our defense being hurt. Y'all said y'all was gonna smack us up and down the field all week. So get to pull that card. Exactly. The goalpost is on a surfboard. Like, I don't want to hear it.
Right. Like, that wasn't the energy y'all had going into that game.
Bears fans,
they want a rivalry so bad.
Yeah. Yeah. I like, it's wild. Like, I'm like, do y'all even have that same energy for the Packers, Lions, and Vikings?
About to say, they have double-digit winning teams in their division. Why do they have time to worry about us?
Like, bro, what are you? You won 4 games last year. What are you doing? 4 games, 5 games. What are you doing? Why are you even looking at this in this direction? You should be worried about trying to get out of the basement in your own division. So that's wild to me.
Worried about us.
Joe Rocket, it's a lot of people worried about us, man. It's wild. I don't know if I should feel good about it or if I'm just like, all right, I need y'all to back a little bit. Give me some space. But I think I kind of like it here, though.
I do too.
I think I kind of like it here. It's weird. It's a little strange, but I think I like it here.
Yeah, my feet are planted here. I don't want to go back to life before ever again.
Yeah, I think I like it here.
I don't want to go back to not mattering. I love it.
Yeah, I think I like it here. I think I get used to this.
Did y'all see the lines for win-loss total thing that I seen something going across the timeline earlier? I think they had us at like 10.5
wins.
Like it was like the win-loss total, the lines for the season. I seen something earlier on the timeline. Over under.
Yeah,
they had us starting at 10.5. Bro, we was at 6.5 last year. Oh my God.
I can't tell you the last time we were at double digits.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
Wow. 10
I don't even think we were that in 2013 coming off of RG3. I don't even think we were 10.
No, because he wasn't healthy. They didn't even know when he was gonna, be ready. He was all in for week 1. Wow. 10
I don't know if it was official, but I seen something on the timeline earlier with a bunch of win-loss totals, and it had us at 10.5.
It makes sense because we had this discussion already. We are like 7th in Super Bowl odds, tied with Cincinnati, and then I think we had the 4th best NFC champion odds. So that makes sense if you think about it. But
yeah, it makes sense. We won 12 games last year. We went to the NFC Championship. You got a rookie of the year quarterback who's going to get better. Then you got better with Laramie Tunsil. You brought in Debo. You got the same coaching staff, same offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
It's just still, I think we still got a lot of things that we got to adjust to. That's just, I think that's one of them.
Yeah, I'm waiting on that schedule too. I am excited for the schedule to come out.
And I do want to throw in there too. No more freebie week 1 because like the Buccaneers caught us lacking because they had pretty much the same team coming from last year. We didn't know what we were doing week 1. We was just trying stuff. So no more freebie week 1 for whoever we play.
Nope. You ain't lying, Ed, though. To piggyback off of what you said, this schedule finna be crazy, bro.
Yep.
That schedule release is gonna be like that whole day. Even though I hate that the schedule be like leaking piece by piece. By the time you get to 8 o'clock, you got like 9 of the games already. But that whole day is gonna be lit.
I love schedule scavenger hunt.
Oh my God. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait. Okay, so Atlanta says that they playing us on in week 7. All right. So
Thanksgiving confirmed. Thanksgiving confirmed.
Yep. I mean, it's wild, bro. It's wild.
It is crazy.
Man, but that's gonna be crazy because we play the AFC West, the NFC North, our division. It's gonna be crazy, bro.
Yeah, my boy Dom said it was the ESPN bet, so it was official. It was ESPN bet. They posted the over-unders earlier, and they had us at 10.5. Yep,
that's insane, bro. In order to bet the over, we got to win 11 games. I love it. I love it. I like this. Like I said, I can get comfortable here, man. Joe Rockhead, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy Joe writes, salute Case, salute Joe, who writes, considering the 1-year deals, what position would you like to see solidified in the draft long term? To the Eagles trolls, hashtag falls coming.
I like it.
I love it. What positions would you guys like to see solidified?
Definitely edge. I mean, we talked about that a lot. We got a couple guys like Dietrich Wise and the other backup. I always forget his name. Things
Martin.
Like Martin. Yeah, solid guys, good rotational guys, but definitely want to get a dominant edge rusher or a guy that can get to the quarterback. And then clearly running back. I mean, B-Rob, can only take you so far. B-Rob's a solid guy. And like I talked about in the first half of the Commanders log, like he looked like that guy. And then you look at the second half of the log.
Thanos snapped out of that jump.
Right. And then Eckler, we love Eckler, but he's he had a couple concussions last year and he's not getting any younger for sure. So we need a change of pace running back, whether it's a guy that can get it done on all 3 downs or just an explosive guy, catch it out of the backfield. But running back definitely needs to be addressed. So edge, running back, and then of course corner as well.
Yeah, and to add to the running back point, like you have to take them very often because their shelf life, their career lifespan isn't as long as other positions. Whereas tackles could play, they could be 35 years old. You're like, yeah, we good. He can start, but running backs, they start to get to 29 and you're looking at them crazy. Like, whoa. And then I forgot, I saw some stats somewhere and it's like only one of like the last like several years of first round running backs have actually like signed a second contract with the team that drafted them. It was something crazy. Like it's just the way that the NFL works. Now, hopefully we can find that guy to where we're not a part of that statistic, but like you just naturally have to keep drafting good explosive running backs every couple of so years.
It's a cycle because they're the most depreciating asset on the football field. You know what I'm saying? You got to treat a running back like a lease. You know what I'm saying? Unless you got one of them ones, you're going back to the shop every couple years because you're not going to get a lot. You're not going to get Toyota mileage at the running back position at this point. Eckler's on the last year of his deal. B-Rob's on the last year of his rookie contract. So after this year, we don't have backs for real. So they have to get a running back in this draft class at some point.
And to even add to that, we play multiple running backs within a game, like we're like offensive line, quarterback. You're hoping that only one plays of each of those positions throughout an entire season. You hope you never even have to think about the backups, whereas running backs get rotated. You need a solid 2 to 3 guys all of the time.
So 2 things to piggyback off of what you guys were saying. This is crazy to say to you because I know how big of a Georgia fan you are, but Todd Gurley is 30 years old.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no, somebody pointed that out to me a few months ago, and I almost shed a tear, bro.
I said,
yo,
what? Wait. First of all, Todd Gurley been out of the league for like 2 years. It don't feel like it was that long ago.
He was the one. He was the
what?
one.
Oh my God. He's 30?
30 years old, bro.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I saw a tweet about that a few months ago. I shed
30 years old or 30
I don't even
years
think
young.
I liked the tweet.
So that's number one. Number two, I just want y'all to think about this. Give me one position outside of quarterback where we're good off the strength of not having dudes on 1-year deals. I'll wait.
That's tough.
Like when he said that, I was like, every position, like receiver, Debo, 1-year deal, Michael Gallup, 1-year deal, Noah Brown, 1-year deal, and
linebacker,
KJ, 1-year deal, right? Linebacker Bobby, 1-year deal, right? Tight end, Zach Ertz, 1-year deal, right? Like you could just go around the entire team essentially and say the same thing, right? Like, isn't this Marshawn Lattimore's last year of his deal? Or does he have one more after this?
I think he has two more.
Okay.
I think he has two more.
So he's got two. You got 1-year deal for Jonathan Joseph. You got 1-year deal for Jonathan Jones. 1-year deal for Noah Igbenogany.
Whole damn team on a 1-year contract.
I mean, it's
I'd say Cosmere sealed up, and I got to look at Tunsil's deal. Tunsil's got what, two years left.
He gonna want an extension though. He already told us in his
he let us know what it is already.
Yeah, he getting an extension, bro. But all of them dudes that signed 3-year deals, they on going into year 2. So it's like Frankie Louvu got 2 years left. Biotish got 2 years left. But again, most of our roster is on 1-year deals. We're not solidified almost anywhere.
And we didn't go out like the Kinlaw deal is the one deal where people can look at and say, okay, he got more money than we needed to. But we don't have some deal like, did you see what the Patriots gave Stephon Diggs coming off an injury at his age? We're thinking he's going to get some 1-year proven. He got 23 a year over 3 years from the Patriots.
And you know why? Because people were complaining about us not being a top free agency destination, but there was that report that the Patriots had a trade ready for DK Metcalf. He's like, I'm not going there. And so for the Patriots to get us Stephon Diggs, you got to overpay.
They're desperate. They have no receivers. They say, you know what? You're what's left. You're the last of the Mohicans. We give you 3 years.
Bro.
People don't want to play for him.
They finally found a receiver to take their money. Remember, this goes all the way back to when they tried to trade for Brandon Ayuk. And they were going to give him way more money than San Francisco gave him. And he was like, nah, I'm good, bro. You can keep your money. I'm straight.
Yeah.
And so they haven't been able to get anybody to come there. Now, we all know because it's $26 million guaranteed. So what that tells me is it's really a 1-year, $26 million deal, right?
They can get up out of there.
They can get right up out of there after this year if it doesn't go well. But still, like you said, Rio, nobody thought he was getting a multi-year deal at 30.
Especially coming off the injury.
No way. It was always going to be a 1-year prove-it deal. That's wild that he got a 3-year deal. But
people thought that we was just going to go grocery shopping for every top free agent and saying that, look at the free agency class we had. We're not top landing spot, one of the top landing spots, but we clearly are because you see what the Patriots are having to do just to get talent, just to field a team. They're having to overpay for nearly every person they got.
That's right.
And that's why, we're flexible. Like we had the top cap space in 2024. We had the top cap space in 2025. We're probably going to have the top cap space in 2026 with the way that we're doing things. We can go into every free agency period like, okay, we're going to be one of the top teams in cap space. And we can, we have these options. Whereas the Patriots are having to overpay for people now.
I knew how New England was moving when they gave Milton Williams $26 million a year. I was like, okay.
Insane.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what you got to do. That's what we used to have to do. You had to get Josh Norman the bag just to get him. Norman.
We had to give Landon Collins the bag to get him here.
Oh my God!
and a signed
John Taylor jersey. God, it was so bad here. It was so bad for so long. Yeah.
Oh Lord, have mercy. Edmund Paul Catton, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Yeah. Edmund writes, I believe in our mob. I have 2 bands on us winning the NFC East and 2 bands on us winning the Super Bowl. And let me hold something, man.
Hey, you got money to. Hey, let us all hold a little.
Let me hold a little something, bro.
You got money to blow over
Let me hold a little something. But I like your confidence in us winning the NFC East. The Super Bowl, whoo, that's a little steep.
That's aggressive.
Yeah. But hey, let me hold something, man.
like it.
The real Telly, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, Telly writes, are we getting uniform tweaks this year or next year? Love all 4 of y'all brothers. Hashtag raise hell. Kind of touched on that already. I think we all kind of agree that it's gonna be like an alt uniform that they throw in the mix. Now,
type.
Yeah, it's gonna be like the championship unis, and I think that's gonna be something they might wear like once a year. Because like I said, even though I know a lot of people don't love the white uniforms, in particular the road unis, you have to have black in the color scheme in one of your uniforms if you want to keep the alternate blacks. That's a mandatory thing. So I think they're gonna hold on to those and just add in those championship uniforms as another alternate.
Jason said they've been working on these like before he stepped down. He ain't here no more, so I could speak on it. He said they've been working on this uniform since 2022. So he said they've been working on it for a while, and he said the original intention of the uniform was to be an alternate that eventually inserted as one of the main uniforms. So that's what I was told.
I remember him saying something to that effect. I remember at one point he was like, well, the fans are going to have a vote. And
let's not. Let's please no. You know what I'm saying?
So they've been working on this for a little while, and we'll see what actually comes of it. Because they sound really confident like it's going to be this year. After the season.
Oh yeah, it's supposed to be this year. They're supposed to that uniform's supposed to drop this offseason.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be some random day in May or June where we just minding our business, and then bam, the social media account gonna drop a hype video for it. So I can see that happening. Swaggy P, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, my guy. Swaggy P writes, Commander Kangs. What up, Swaggy?
What up?
He says, bold prediction for this year. Luke McCaffrey gets his first TD, and it won't be receiving touchdown either. A return touchdown or a pass touchdown. I forgot he still doesn't have one.
I'm not banking on him catching a touchdown, so you're probably right.
Hey, who had on their bingo card that Ben Sinnett would have a receiving touchdown before Luke McCaffrey? Who had that on there?
That's crazy.
Who had that on their bingo card?
Oh my goodness, man.
I mean, he might be running kicks back this year, so I mean, I don't think they want to put Eck back there.
Oh yeah, he don't need to be back there no more. Even though he went to the Pro Bowl and All Pro, don't need to have him back there.
I don't think they want to put him back there anymore. So, he might get a shot. He might get a shot.
Shout out Luke though.
Shout out to Luke.
Shout out Luke. That's the new way of leading. That's ending it with love. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get all your shots off.
Instead of leading with love, you end with love. Huh?
Yeah, we finished with love on this side. Man.
What was that Lil Wayne clip where they had like the top rappers? Gucci Mane was like above Eminem, and then Lil Wayne was like, shout out Gucci. Though.
Shout out Gucci.
Shout out Gucci.
That's how you do it, man. You take your shots and then you say shout out to him.
Hey,
makes everything better.
Hey, who did you kill earlier in the show and then shout it out?
Gabe Taylor. Shout out,
man.
hey, big shout outs to Gabe though, man.
He had a great shout out.
He had a great pro day. It said that he ran between 4.38 and 4.41.
Yes, sir.
Shout out Gabe Taylor.
The biggest of shout outs to Gabe Taylor, man.
Hey, Rio, he shit on this man for like 7 minutes straight.
Grab simulator where he at.
Where he at though?
Yeah, no, he really is a locked character in the draft simulators right now.
I'd be mad as hell.
Rico was trying his hardest not to.
Oh man.
Hey, how long you got to play the game to unlock Gabe Taylor, man? How long you got to play for to unlock him?
Let's say, man, that 9th round of the draft go crazy.
Hey, go hard, man.
What's crazy is he's more productive than some of the safeties in the mock draft simulator. But
It is crazy, yeah.
They refuse to put a Rice Owl safety on.
No, we're not doing that.
So that 9th round projection, crazy.
Hey, that's wild, man. Oh, Captain Obvious. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, which division are we most likely to sweep? Oh man.
Division?
I don't know if we're sweeping any division, but
about to say, that's hard.
That's extremely hard to do. But if it were going to happen, I would tell you it would probably be the NFC North, is my guess. Because we don't know what the Lions are going to be. We said this, both their coordinators have switched. We don't know how good they're going to be.
They lost like 7 coaches, 7, 8 coaches. Crazy.
Yeah, you know how that go when you know one of your coaches leave. He reaching back and grabbing 2 or 3 coaches to bring with him, right?
What if we swept the West? The AFC West.
That would be insane, bro. That would be the equivalent of sweeping the AFC North last year. Like the Eagles did that. They were the only team in the division to do that.
We got all of them. We got all 4 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, beating the Chiefs would be crazy.
Yeah, in fact. Yeah, that's the one. That's why you get calls when you're like, man, I don't think we're gonna do that because
bring them.
I mean, and it ain't like it's impossible.
Denver's a tough game too.
I mean, that defense is crazy, bro.
They're insane, and their offensive line like that.
So I mean, you can't sleep on none of them teams out west. And I know the North is gonna be crazy still, but we don't know what the Vikings gonna be with JJ McCarthy at quarterback, right?
Nope.
We don't know what the Lions gonna be without their 2 coordinators, and we don't know what Ben Johnson is as a head coach.
Yeah.
So that whole division that was double-digit victories last year, they could turn upside down and be trash this year.
Yep.
So if I had to pick one, it would be that one. You know, I think Green Bay is gonna be good, but outside of that, there's no guarantees for the rest of that division.
A lot of uncertainty.
Without question, but sweep is such a like. I want to make sure we stay somewhat humble, right?
You know who we are sweeping in New York.
I said we get the brooms out for them, bro.
Dreams are made.
Well, we just happy Daniel Jones gone, but that man would go crazy against
Vanilla
us.
Vic. He really was Vanilla Vic against us.
Yep.
I wanted Jameis to start so bad. He may start some games anyway.
Will definitely.
It would just be fun to play against him. Just throwing 4 picks, 4 touchdowns. We still
sure
win.
Malik Neighbors prefers him.
Oh yeah.
Hey, look, I'm gonna tell you what, Jameis, he probably would have dotted our ass up. He would be the one team. He would have been the one team Jameis would have went nuts on and not thrown a pick.
I've seen Jameis do it before. Man, I still remember that Hail Mary he completed.
Oh yeah, before the half.
Oh, the Saints. Oh,
man, just watched them complete a Hail Mary to watch the ball.
Nobody
remember,
jumped.
I told y'all. Remember,
Nobody
jumped because remember the week before,
McTyer
jumped up and tore his ACL against the Falcons, knocking down the Hail Mary. And they was like, yo, I ain't jumping for that shit. You jump. I ain't jumping, you jump.
They all had war flashbacks when that ball was in it.
They let AJ fall right into that man's arms. That was the most hurtful play before the half I think I've ever seen in my life.
That was a stupid game. I remember that. That game just makes me mad every time I think about it.
Yeah, well, that was and Taylor Heineke did everything in his power to make sure we lost that game.
Everything.
Anyway, that's another discussion for another day. The real Telly, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes? Didn't know someone asked the uniform question already. It's all good, bro. It's all good. My bad, fellas. Take back. Oh, you doing a what's my man from Drink Jinx? Nori, you taking it back like he took back the DAP. when Jada told the story about Nori taking the DAP back.
Yeah. That was hilarious.
He says, I think we have to draft a running back within the first 2 picks. Can't rely on 6th or 7th rounds to supplant B-Rob. Again, I would be really disappointed if they didn't do something early, but you never know what they envision the running back position being or what kind of fix they see to the position. It's just, this is my thing with the running back position. It's too many of them for you to not get something.
One of them. Yeah.
Something that's like actually good that you feel really good about. It's too many of them. I've never seen the position this deep before.
Yeah,
I love this running back draft class. Love it. They got to get something, man.
Got to give me one of these guys, man. Not Cam Scatterboo, but one of them, though, man, for sure.
Shouts out to Scatterboo.
Shout out to Scatterboo, man.
Shout out to
Scatterboo, man. You know, he said, "Hey, I'm fast." You know, he said
39-inch vert, man.
Hey, he said I'm fast.
He said, "Source, trust me, bro."
Yeah, I'm fast. Trust me.
That's crazy.
Oh, shout out to Cam Scatterboo, man.
Shout out to him.
Supreme Chancellor, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Supreme Chancellor writes, first of all, thank you for the $20 dono, man. We really appreciate you. Says, do you really think our secondary is better? It's a great question. We were so bad last year. What is this year's secondary's weakness? Man to man, speed, etc. Hail to the Kings.
Penalties.
I want to jump on that.
Yeah, they're better. I mean, when you lose Ben St. Juste and you lose Michael Davis, I mean, you got better there instantly.
Don't forget Emmanuel Forbes.
Addition by subtraction.
Yeah.
So yeah, you get addition by subtraction there. I mean, you could throw in Kayvon Seymour, and that would be an upgrade from Ben St. Juste.
Hey, be careful what you're talking about now, Ed. He on the roster. They signed him to a 1 year deal.
We brought Seymour back.
He might be up on the joint.
Yeah, Kayvon Seymour. Yeah, because Michael Davis was so bad. But yeah, I mean, the concerns is like you guys said, penalties. Marshawn Lattimore. How does he bounce back from the hamstring? He has a full off season this year, so does he get back consistently to being Marshawn Lattimore? He had some up and down games. The Lions game was good. The Buccaneers game was a struggle against Mike Evans. Struggled against AJ Brown at times, and the Eagles in the NFC Championship game. So how does Marshawn Lattimore play? The physicality, penalties, yes, speed is something that we're looking for. Do we get that with Darian Porter in the second round? Possibly. So, yeah, I'm just looking to see how does Marshawn bounce back this year, because I think Mikey will play good again. Jonathan Jones, we'll see what happens with him. He had a down year last year too. So, but, yeah, I really want to see how Marshawn bounces back, because I think he will be better, but I want to see how he plays coming off that hamstring injury.
He holds the cards to the room for real, because I'm a chalk up last year to an imposter version of Marshawn Lattimore. If the real Marshawn Lattimore can stand up in 2025, we should be all right. It is a huge addition by subtraction getting St. Juste off the roster, because Benjamin St. Juste is one of the few corners in this league that can single-handedly lose you a football game. We've seen it a multitude of times here. Getting that off the roster, getting that juju out of the room, that is a huge addition to Washington. Saying we're still going to get better in year two, but everything goes by if Marshawn looks closer to form this year and fits in this year. Because last year it seemed like, he never fully conformed to what was happening here.
Yeah, I super agree. I mean, again, addition by subtraction, you're better just off of the fact that now Jonathan Jones is more so a part of your rotation or whatever he's going to do than like a Michael Davis. I prefer him over Michael Davis, Benjamin St. Juste, and Emmanuel Forbes any day. I think our biggest weakness, though, is that, dealing with size. One thing, at least Benjamin St. Juste, now he didn't use it well. He was still he wouldn't get his head turned around, so it didn't really matter. But right now, we do lack size. Marshawn Lattimore is like our biggest corner by far. Everybody else is 5'10", just about. So, right now, if we go against a team with multiple big receivers, it may not be pretty for us. I expect this, defensive back groups to definitely be better than it was last year. Especially because I just think we'll be in better situations to maybe where we can, now that we can potentially stop the run better with certain individuals, I think we'll have more guys potentially in coverage, like maybe an additional linebacker, an additional safety on the field, rather than having to stack the box like we did. But we just lack size in the cornerback room right now.
Yeah, you guys hit it on the head. I think Marshawn Lattimore is the key to all of this. And if he's healthy, if he's right, then I think we can get by with whatever we put out on the field. If he's not, We're in for a long season at the cornerback position.
Oh man.
And to Rico's point, we don't have any size, right? We got a bunch of nickels, guys that look like nickels, that potentially could be playing out wide for us. But as long as they keep playing the type of ball that we were able to get from them last year, it doesn't matter what size they are. But right now, we go up against a Mike Evans, and Marshawn Lattimore happens to be out that week. We're in trouble potentially. And we saw what it looked like in the NFC Championship game. One game, Mikey was really good against AJ. The other game, not so much. So we're going to see. The thing about the secondary is we're not sure right now, especially at safety. Like they swapped out Jeremy Chin for what's my
Will
man?
Harris.
Will Harris. We don't know if that's an upgrade or not. So we're going to find out. We're going to find out. I'm banking on it being year 2 of the system and guys just being more comfortable, being asked to do certain things and understanding what's being asked of them. So we'll find out. Supreme Chancellor, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, can you give me a late round draft pick you think we need and would be a steal for us?
I go. I'll start.
Yeah, I'm looking at my list.
Za Frazier, the cornerback from UTSA, the Roadrunners. He's 6'3", runs a 4.3, and finally saw ball production in his junior year this year. I think he caught 6 picks. He had caught no picks up to this point, caught a bunch of stuff. Height, weight, speed guy, can run, can cover. UTSA, Za Frazier, that's somebody I'm looking into. In case we get caught up drafting a running back earlier than we need to, we don't take a corner with our first, second, or fourth round pick. You want to get a guy late day 3, a 6'3" guy running a 4.36 and caught 6 picks in his junior year is someone you take a gamble on in the 6th or 7th round.
For me, it just depends on like how late are we talking, because Homer, of course, but if we don't go one of those top running backs, I think Trevor Etienne could be a huge steal. Especially if we trade back, say 1st or 2nd round, we gain like an additional 5th. I think Trevor Etienne in the 5th round would be excellent value right there. So he's like he's like the baby Travion Henderson. So, or you could argue diet Travion Henderson. I would love him in like maybe the 5th. Maybe you can get him in the 6th.
Bulldog.
Straight A, man. I'm a swear by him too, man, because our offensive line did him dirty this year.
Hey, Rico don't play by this bulldog
at all.
Oh, hey, man. What y'all know.
You better recognize. I got 2. Jaden Blue, running back out of Texas. Love him. He will be there in day 3, I believe. But as I brought up earlier on my running back show, that there's not a lot of speed like that in the NFL at the running back position. When you think about it, it's not a lot of that kind of speed. So there could be teams out there that are hungry for that, and they take a flyer on him in the 3rd round. But he should be there day 3. And then a guy that has popped for me watching other guys on tape is Joshua Simon, the tight end out of South Carolina. Again, I don't anticipate us doing anything, but like Joe Rockhead brought up earlier, we got a bunch of dudes on 1-year deals. You might want to throw again, and when you get into those later rounds, it's just about acquiring talent, right? You're not necessarily looking for a specific position, but looking for guys that you can develop or guys that have talent. And Josh Simon, 6'4", 239, out of South Carolina, ran a 4.65 40. I love the way he catches it. Good run after the catch. I thought he was good enough at the point of attack as a blocker. He could be better, but hence the late round selection and continuing to develop him and seeing if he can turn into a dual threat tight end for you down the road. So somebody like that for me.
And my dream 7th round pick is, of course, Kyron Lacy. We've already talked about him before on the stream. I need that.
He ran like a 4.5, 4.49 today.
I need that Kyron Lacy in the 7th, man.
I'll take it.
Yeah,
he feels like a Cincinnati Bengal.
Nah, there's no way they do that again after they took Jermaine Burton. There's no way. You can't double back on crazy.
They don't
You
care.
can't double back on crazy. You can't.
I mean, he's a chief. He's a chief. You gotta be. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have a mugshot to be a chief receiver.
Hey,
I can see chief
driving like that for sure.
Hey, he wasn't a driver allegedly, though. Allegedly.
Yeah, same thing with Jalen Carter.
I'm about to say, the Eagles will scoop him.
Right.
Oh no,
I would say Donovan Edwards. You see the production for him in Michigan, some consistent production, and he can catch out of the backfield. He had 200 receiving yards a couple of years there. So I know Lou said he may be undrafted, but if you get him in the 7th round, I think that would be a good pickup. Definitely a change of pace guy, some burst, versatility at the running back spot. So maybe 6th, 7th round. I think that would be a good pickup.
All right.
It's crazy because Donovan, like this time last year, I would have never have thought that he could have gone undrafted. Like it's crazy what can happen in 1 year.
1 year. It don't take long. Like, I mean, who would have thought last year that we'd be sitting here a year later and your boy out of Missouri, the receiver,
Luther Burden. He looked like a top 10 pick this time last year.
I mean, most of the Michigan dudes, like Will Johnson, there's no way Will Johnson wasn't a top 5 pick last year this time.
Yep.
Donovan Edwards is on the cover of NCAA game, bro. Like
they can't wait to start pushing people down the board. Though that prospect fatigue thing gets real too.
It does. Like when you got a shot to come out, like if
strike while the iron's hot.
Yeah, it's just different now because them
NIL
deals be real, bro. And if you living a life on campus, what I need to come out for? Right. JB, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. JB writes, Lattimore is going to ball out. I think so too. I really feel confident he's going to show up and show out for us. Yeah, we do, without question. Cooley Fagans, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Cooley writes,
we got you.
Y'all getting me through the offseason. Thanks. He said, thanks. I went to the Browns game last year. My first game ever. That was a good one to go to.
Great game.
He said, I went to 6 in total. You went to 6 games last year? After having not gone to any? You was locked in, bro.
You was living.
He said, my favorite I went to was at New York. Worst was the Cowboys loss. Oh, I know that one.
You were there to watch the lightning strike twice.
In the Eastern Capital.
We were talking about giving stuff back. You know, my boy, the kicker, Cyber, he gave the miracle right back. He put the lightning back in the sky.
I could only imagine the emotions, the range of emotions in that short period of time in that stadium. I could only imagine. Because I was getting ready for my show. I thought we had already lost, right? So when he hits Terry, I'm like, I'm ready to lose it. But because Greg Olsen, he jinxed the shit out of us.
He did.
But he was not wrong. But you can't, and he knew. He's like, oh yeah, I shouldn't have done that. He's like, hey, Commanders fans, don't get too excited yet. You know, we've seen some crazy things today on special teams. And then Joe Davis says, the worst special teams day in the history continues. Like, yo, that was a crazy game, bro. We appreciate you. First of all, thank you for the $20 dono, man. We really appreciate you. And man, you went to 6 games, bro. You was on it. You was locked in. You was on the road too. You said at New York, so you must live on the East Coast more likely than not.
Salute.
Yeah, for sure, man. That Cowboys one was brutal last year.
I still remember watching that with my son because I remember I couldn't do my watch party that day because there was work being done in my neighborhood and the internet was down to like 3:00, and I remember just sitting depressed next to my son because the way that we lost this game. I had set up the stream and everything. All of a sudden, that touchdown happened. I remember me and my son both just we chopped each other in the chest. Screaming, we're running around the room, and then the extra point just missed. And my son was like, "Do people miss extra points in football? Like, is it a thing?" I was like,
he was still in the infant stages. He ain't no better, man. He just.
I was like, turn this damn game off.
Yo, I didn't even allow myself to get excited like I did with the Bears game because the Bears game was over. Like when he caught it, there was no no flags, right? Like we won.
I was ecstatic.
That one, I was like, oh my God, I had my hands on my head, but I wasn't screaming like I told you I was screaming like a little girl when the Bears Hail Mary happened.
That was me again versus the Cowboys. I hadn't seen Terry run past folks in years, bro. Like that play was they sitting in a deep prevent and we scored an 86-yard touchdown.
That was rookie season versus the Philadelphia Eagles, Terry, on the slant from Dwayne. Yeah, we hadn't seen that Terry probably since then, bro. Maybe 2020, the 2020 catch against the Giants where he was getting hit, got down. It was almost
that was
like Scooby-Doo, right?
That was
like
Alex Smith, right?
Right. Alex came in that game and he caught the ball. It's like Scooby-Doo legs, right? Yeah. Where you running in the air and then once he hit the ground, took off on them boys. I don't know if we've seen it since then, bro.
Yeah, and then this year he got the screen pass versus Detroit, and he got that play right there.
That was wild, man. And that pass from Jaden was perfect because it allowed him to catch it, going in stride inside, right? Cut inside those defenders, then cut back to the outside, down the sideline. It was like,
and if he gets tackled, we're almost cooked because we have no timeouts.
Oh, it's not almost. We're cooked, bro.
Yeah, because he's like 40 yards up the field. If he gets tackled, we're done.
Yeah, no, that was so. Oh my God, that was crazy, bro. Shout out to Cooley, man. Hey, I hope you make it to 6 games again this year. Miggy, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Miggy writes, "Sup, Kings? Sup, Miggy? He says we need to find running backs in this draft for now and next year and not put much stock into running back in next year. The defense needs to be invested heavily before JD5 payday." We're going to see what they decide to invest in the draft. Because as Joe Rockhead brought up, and then we talked about, it's 1-year deals all over this roster. So you really can't go wrong with what you decide to upgrade via the draft. Because we need all of it, to be honest with you. But if you're talking about right now, instant impact, running back, edge rusher, and corner are the 3 that you feel like can have the biggest impact right now. But we could use some of everything, bro.
Yeah, a little bit of everything, man. We need talent. We need contributors. We need playmakers.
Yeah, without question.
I'm about to say we signed most of free agents to 1-year deals. You know, our rookie draft picks are the guys we get for 3, 4,
right?
Hopefully 5 more.
So we need to develop. We need to treat some of these guys that we didn't see much from last year's rookie class like free agent acquisitions. We need to see what they are in year 2. Hampton, McGee, Sennett, McCaffrey, and Jerson Newton. Those are free agent acquisitions because they're going to have to play a bigger role this year.
That's right. That's what I was. That was what I was harping on. Was like, we also got to look at these second-year dudes and see what kind of leap they taking because, like, you got to take the red shirt off of Dominique Hampton this year. Like, what can you contribute? You know what I mean? McGee, need you to stay healthy because we need to see if we got to invest in a linebacker or not, right? Ben Sennett, Ertz can't play forever, bro. At some point, we got to find out, do we have the answer on the roster? Do we need to go get the answer, and bring it onto the roster? And then you can go across the
development. You got to develop these guys, man. The Eagles, they developed the hell out of these draft picks, man. There are guys that their fans screamed on in their first year and second year now being contributor. Like, look at Josh Sweat. Like, there are certain players on the team. Nolan Smith's finally coming on. You got to see that type of development and guys pick up.
Yeah. Like the dude Ajabo last year, defensive tackle, I was like, he's really good. You could let Milton Williams walk. You got depth at defensive tackle. And they're probably going to draft another one this year. So that's the name of the game, is developing your young talent. They saw something in these guys, which is what led them to draft them. Now you got to get it out of them, right? So, all right, y'all. We've reached the end of our journey tonight. Do y'all got anything that y'all want to add before we get out of here?
I'm just happy that the NFC's quarterback landscape looks like this panel.
Yeah. Hey,
Black as hell.
I think that's the first time in NFL history that one division has had all brothers at quarterback.
Especially the Giants doing it too. Like the Giants don't do that. They don't do
At all.
And
Giants
also,
don't do that.
all 3 out of the 4 quarterbacks have made it to the NFC Championship game.
Except
Only
for one.
quarterback.
Everyone except Rain Dakota. Rain Dakota.
Ah.
Oh, throw that salt in the wound. I love it, Ed. I love it. It's gonna be fun to see, how that whole Giants situation unfolds, because they could still take a quarterback, and they will if one falls to them at 3, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
We got one more super. Somebody banging the table for Gabe. Somebody banging the table for good old Gabe.
Shout out to Gabe Taylor.
Big shout out to him.
Big X 420. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Big X writes 2023, 59 total tackles, 1 for loss, 1 sack, 2 interceptions. 2022, 60 total tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 2 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles. 2021, 56 total tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 3 interceptions.
He has production. He caught 3 picks this year too.
1 forced fumble. I'd spend a day 3 pick on Gabe or sign him as a UDFA. Okay.
Yeah, UDFA for sure.
If you say
shout out Gabe though,
somebody's gonna give. I think somebody's gonna take a flyer on him as a UDFA at a bare minimum.
genetics talking about.
But as Rio said, man, he's not on the simulator. He's not an option on the simulator, bro.
They need to take Shiloh off the simulator too.
They might
Gabe better than Shiloh.
They might have gave him.
I would definitely say Gabe is better than Shiloh.
Gabe is better than Shiloh Sanders, but Shiloh Sanders is the son of Coach Prime. So he's gonna get package dealed on day 3 to go wherever Shador gets drafted.
Hey, that would be crazy work. What if in his first day he's like, yo, because he going first round, he going top 3. He's like, yo, if y'all draft me,
you gotta take Shiloh.
I gotta take Shiloh.
The ultimate
you ain't gotta draft him, but you gotta UDFA him at least. That'd be wild, bro. If that was a pack. If he hit him with the Giannis with the Nassus, he's like, yo, y'all want me to re-up? You gotta stop my bro.
I gotta support this black nepotism right quick. We are a package deal, man. And my brother is a part of the content team. Dion Jr., he gets a job on the content team day 1. Off media. What's up?
They like, yo, you better off just asking for stock in the dang on in the organization, in the franchise and all that stuff. That's wild, bro. Dion Jr. was part of the media team. Gearcell 1. Thank you for the super.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
I was waiting on it.
So my guy Gearcell 1. Ed, you gotta read it, Ed. You gotta read it, Ed.
Shout out my man Gearcell. He says Lattimore will ball out in 2025 if he stops crossing training wearing cream cheese grip loafers with hazel pudding leggings and wave back cornrows and slippery gray PG County sideburns. Tragic.
Yo, grip loafers.
Yo, what a
PG
cream cheese grip loafers, bro.
Now, I ain't gonna lie. As somebody that's Southern, I have questioned the DMV and Philadelphia sideburn thing. That's definitely like a thing.
Hazel pudding? What the hell is hazel pudding?
The
sideburns, I gotta see what you're talking. I think I have an idea, but typically PG, we fade the temp, so we don't really have sideburns.
My guy has the most extensive color palette.
I'm about to say
I'm telling you, Young Dro, man. Young Dro.
Yo, this man said hazel pudding leggings. Hazel.
You don't want to join with somebody like that.
To describe someone's eyes. This man said that pudding leggings.
You don't want to join with somebody's imagination that ridiculous.
Cream cheese grip loafers. That sound nasty.
I know he used to go crazy at school lunch, bro. Because
man,
the imagination is out of this world.
It's insane.
Shout out to my guy Gearcell, man.
Shout out to him. And that's a real shout out. That's not
That's
like
that ain't a Gabe Taylor shout out.
like the shout out we were doing earlier. It's like when you say, with all due respect, and you about to say something flagrantly disrespectful.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's giving a little shout out after you end with love.
Hey, good luck to all of the teams in the Sweet 16 except Maryland.
Except y'all too. The hate is mutual. Even though we're not the ACC anymore.
No, I'm kidding, man. I have no animosity towards Maryland. I'm anxious to see what they do against Florida, and this is going to be a fun weekend of basketball to see how it all turns out. But anything else y'all want to add before we get out of here?
All right, shout out Maryland and shout out future Wizard Cooper Flag.
110%.
I just want everybody to stay healthy, man.
Well,
even just
y'all know how this
juju
goes. If you're coming at these Kings, you best not miss.
Hey,
Until
Captain Obvious on the way out.
Louie Tee.
My man, Captain Obvious on the way out. Rio, shout out.
Man, the Kings signing off. Peace.
Hey, Captain Obvious, appreciate you with the $2 on the way out. He said Rio shout out equals bless your heart. It's the same thing.
Literally,
exactly
that.
what I'm saying.